trees that grow so fair, old England to adore. Greater are none beneath the sun than oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. You that is old in churchyard mould, he breedeth a mighty bow. Older for shoes do wise men choose, and beech for cups also. But when you have killed in your bowl it is filled, and your shoes are clean outworn, vacuum a speed for all that you need to oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Oh, she hates mankind and waits till every gust be laid, to drop a limb on the head of him that anyway trusts her shade. But whether a lad be sober or sad, or mellow with ale from the horn, he'll take no wrong when it lieth along neath oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Do not tell the priest our plight, for he would call it a sin. But we've been out in the woods all night, conjuring summer in. We bring you good news by word of mouth, good news for cattle and corn. Sure as the sun come up from the south, by oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing in oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing
It's cold. Oh, it's cold out. I woke up today, checked my watch. It said minus 33 Celsius. So, it is a miracle that I'm here. We'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully my house doesn't freeze over. Actually, it's kind of funny. There is like an 1.5 inch border of ice around my window on the inside. Just, you know, Canada things. Just this like 1.5 inch seam that goes around the entire thing of straight fucking ice on the inside. It's cold, man. So I gotta be careful today. We gotta stay cozy. We gotta stay warm. We gotta stream. I got a short little stream today. Some little fun plan. Hopefully, I will reclaim my throne as the best and greatest cartographer, D&D or otherwise, to ever grace Twitch. There's not a single person in the D&D category that makes maps like me. That's right. I mean, some are better, but it's fine, you know. At least they're not like me. So it is indeed cold out. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're staying warm. For those of you who are in a cold climate, for everyone else who's in a warm climate, get bent. Yeah, you have no idea how much I wish I lived somewhere warm. But then again, here's the thing. It's not all bad living in the frigid north, in literally the tundra where I live. It's not all bad because we don't have real insects or pests. No, I have never seen in my city a cockroach once, ever. The first time I ever seen a cockroach, I was like 27, 28 years old. I went like I went a quarter of my life without seeing a cockroach. And I went to Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas and I stayed at the MGM and I went to the bathroom and there's this hole in the wall between two tiles. And this little roach just comes out and is like, "Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Yo, we rooming?" And I was like, I'm gonna get another room, I think. So we don't have that in Canada. I thought that didn't exist anywhere in Canada. I thought that was like only like a specific places in the world. I didn't realize that everywhere basically has roaches and rats. Who knew? You know, I did see some adorable little cockroaches in Hawaii, and I could manage that, you know, but at least they don't have like spider mounts there. You know, big enough to get on and ride around. So at least we don't have any of that in Canada. So the cold does its job, I suppose, even if I'm miserable and have to, why did we get a 7-pound dog? Why did we buy a 7-pound dog? That's the one thing I don't understand about my previous life decisions. Came back from Slurp. What's up, Meeks? Good to see you, dude. The whole week and next are just way below freezing. Well, and you live somewhere warm, don't you? Like supposedly warm, actually. I actually don't know specifically where you live, but I think you live somewhere decently warm, right? So that's unusual for you, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. But no, it is frigid here, and I don't know why we got a dog that's 7 pounds. Because last night I had to take her out. All right, I take her out on my own. Normally Ella and I take her out together at the end of the night because it is dangerous to walk in the woods, you know, alone. So I get, you know, I don't ever let Ella go out on her own at night after it's dark in the woods to take Una out, and I'll do it once in a while, but it also makes Ella a little anxious when I do it on my own. So go out there, do what you normally do when you take your dog out into the woods for their last, you know, outing of the day. Grab your big fucking knife, put it in your pocket. You know, wish you could have a firearm, but you know, bear spray is just fine, I guess. We'll do that instead. And go into the wilderness. I take her out in my jacket. We put her onesie on, her little hoodie onesie on. Then we put her like thermal insulated, waterproof, whatever jacket on. Then I had to put her little boots on and her harness, and that took 10 minutes. And then I had to put her in my jacket to run out to the middle of the frigid, you know, forest, take about a 5-minute walk out there, pull her out, put her down, and she just looked at me. She looked up at me, and I was like, "Come on, Una, you're supposed to go. What do you, like, hurry up, it's cold." And she just looked at me and was like, What do you want me to do, bro? I don't think she's remembered. Like, there was a couple days like that last year that we had. I don't think she remembered it, though. I think this is her first, like, re-experience of truly, truly cold weather, where it was, like, minus 30-ish, which I think that's, what is that in American? Minus 30, it's like, what, minus 5 or 6 or something in Fahrenheit? Minus 30 C to F. It's minus 22 Fahrenheit. Okay, so minus 30 for us, minus 22 for you guys. I know that it evens out around minus 40. That minus 40 Celsius and minus 40 Fahrenheit are the same thing, which is weird. I don't know why we do that, but it is going to get down to minus 40 tonight, supposedly. There's a high today or tomorrow, I think it is. The high tomorrow was like minus 30 something. So yeah, it's frigid, but it's okay because I'm going to stay inside and I'm not going to do anything. It is indeed D&D Day, which is the official day that everyone plays D&D. Why does everybody play D&D on Thursdays? I don't know. And I don't mind it either. Because I like that there's a day of the week that everyone just kind of all plays D&D. You know, they all just chill out. Everybody you know is playing D&D. And if you know somebody who should play D&D but doesn't play D&D, and I don't mean somebody that has responsibilities. You know, I don't mean someone that has, like, you know, 4 kids, 2 wives, and a house. I mean like the losers, like me. If you have friends like me and we're not playing D&D on Thursdays, and you're like, man, what are you doing? You fucked up, man. Whatever you're doing, you messed up. You're not playing D&D tonight. You clearly screwed something up. So I like that. I like that about Thursdays. Everybody plays D&D. Everyone has that collective experience. It's like we're playing together, even though none of us actually are. And some of us are playing Baldur's Gate on our own in our underpants. So there's that too. This whole week's just 3 days. That's weird when we know the true suffering of the other temperature. That's true. Yeah, when you understand when I say minus 40s, minus 40s, minus 40, that's like, that's something, man. So I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't get as cold. I don't actually know many places in the US where it gets that cold. There's probably some. You know, I know further to the north, but we have family in North Dakota. North Dakota for our Europeans is how to describe North Dakota. North Dakota is, do you have for our Europeans, you know, you have a friend in your friend group and everything they say or do is irrelevant? That's North Dakota for the US. If all the states were a friend group, all right, even Iowa would have more interesting opinions than North Dakota. So we have family in North Dakota. And I don't think it even gets that cold there. I've never heard of it actually getting like minus 40 in North fucking Dakota. Then again, they only have 3 people to measure the temperature. So who knows? I don't know. Someone said underpants. Damn it, Eiley. No, stop it. I don't care how much you crowdfund. I am not drawing Evangeline in her underpants sitting on reclining on a lounge whilst reading a sultry novel. Okay, I don't care. You can't crowdfund a commission slot for that. Stop trying. Tonight's time for my Warforged Paladins comeback. See, it's time. You ready, Meeks? I don't condone the use of Warforged unless the use of Warforged can also be poisoned. All right, I don't like Warforged players that don't like to be poisoned. But all the other ones are good. So, if you're a paladin, you can negate that anyway. So, have fun tonight, dude. Accurate? Yeah, Tari knows. Tari knows. Imagine something or someone coming from out in North Dakota that's relevant. It just doesn't happen. Sorry, man. It's not like it's a bad place. It's not like it's bad people. It just doesn't matter, right? It's like it's not a bad place. It just doesn't matter. It's like oh, the Netherlands. Yeah, just like the Netherlands. Good people, doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Just trying to explain this to our European audience as well, okay? Usually gets that way most of February here. Really? Yeah, late winter's starting to be a thing. I remember growing up, late winter was not a thing when I was growing up, and now late winter is a thing. It's like February was always a little bit warmer than January, but here if we get our deep freeze in January, February, and you are fucked either way, man. How about Evangeline with a totally normal pet octopus? No, I couldn't do that for Eiley. So you do it or I do it, but it will happen. You won't do it. You have too much stuff to do. You're too busy, Eiley. I'm not gonna make saucy fan art of your VTuber and Evangeline together, okay? Stop asking. You're fucking weirding me out, okay? Jesus. God. I can't look you in the eye anymore. Of course, give her more ideas. I'm not doing shit, Busy. All right? Listen. What happens, happens. My DM uses all the other shit on me instead. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Get curses, disease, you know, just give the Warforged everything. Like I had a Warforged player once back in 4th edition. And this dude was, I didn't really like this dude, okay? This dude was I have a rule against inviting friends of friends to my D&D game. Just as a general rule, because the amount of times it turns out bad has been too high in my life that it's not a worthwhile risk. I have a friend that's like, hey, what's up? Can I have my friend come to D&D? I'm always just like, oh, hey, I don't know your friend. I'm sure they're super cool, but I don't know if we vibe together. So unfortunately not, I'm sorry. And I just do that. I just say that because I've had one of my bad experiences. I had a player who came in my game and he was a Warforged or whatever they were called in 4th edition. I think they were called Warforged. And dude was such a cocky, arrogant dick about everything. He was the quintessential power gamer, right? Warforged only because of immunities and whatever and blah, blah, blah. So we were on like day 3 or 4 of a dungeon and the whole party stepped into a poison cloud. He was saying like, oh, well, I don't get poisoned because I'm a Warforged or like whatever it was. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's true. He's like, well, I'm just going to walk through the poison mist and hit the switch on the other end, which is a whole trap room, right? And I remember thinking like, okay, yeah, very good. Like, you're a Warforged. You win this encounter because, sure, why not? But then he started being like, kind of uppity about it. He was just like, yeah, just another day of breaking DM's traps. But, you know, I guess you got to get better. But, like, I make DMs better because now you know not to use that kind of trap against us anymore. It's like, oh, really? Okay. So at the end of the game, I was like, hey, so-and-so, you're having some problems moving. And you're like, why? Do I do a saving throw? I'm like, no, you're just having some problems moving. Like I rolled some dice. I was like, yep, your movement speed's actually reduced by 5. Like, what the fuck? And the next week, after the next long rest, I was like, your movement speed's reduced by 10. He's like, what is it? And then he tries to attack, and I was like, hey, take a -2 to your attack penalty, or to your attacks. And he did all this shit. He's like, I don't know what's going on. What is this shit? I didn't even save anything. I'm like, you begin to rust, my friend. That poison you walked through so brazenly was corrosive. I'm sorry, my friend. You're beginning to rust. Fuck with the DM and find out. So yeah, Warforged are fine unless you're a power gamer, in which case nothing's fine. So I wonder how many murders happened in North Dakota. North Dakota crime rate. Crime rate per 1,000 residents is only 2.8. So not much happens in North Dakota, Eiley. Not much happens. There you go. Everyone I know in North Dakota got the fuck out. So I imagine a single murder would reduce the population here by 10%. Probably, Garth. You're absolutely right. February being the deep freeze is pretty normal here. The March and April are a toss-up. Will it be spring? Will it be eternal frost wasteland? Who knows? Yeah, I hate that about like I'm always so jealous of places that have like seasons, right? Because Blaze, I will watch sometimes like walk. I'll put on in the background like a walking tour video of someone like walking the streets of a city I haven't been to or a place that I haven't been to, and it's kind of cool. It's like fun little exploration travel type things, right? And it's so fun. I'll see like videos of Japan in like March, or videos of like Texas in March, and there's just like there's things blossoming. The grass has turned green again. There's like flowers coming out. And I'm like, bitch, you get spring in March? March is a winter month where I live. April's a winter month where I live. May can be the beginnings of spring. And we don't have things blossoming or blooming or whatever or budding until June where I live. So, yeah, it's tragic, man. We're streaming tomorrow, or should I do the Capstone Fox of the week today? We are indeed streaming tomorrow. That is the plan. Obviously, I never like to promise anything because I'm flaky. But no, I am planning on streaming tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the last stream of the week for a little while. Because I'm gonna be taking 2 weeks or 1 to 2 weeks off around there. I might come back on the Friday of the second week. Because if I took 2 weeks off, that would include the weekends, and then that's a long time to be off. So I don't know. What I've said is 1 to 3 weeks off, probably averaging somewhere around 2. But I'm gonna be deep into work for a while, so I'm nervous about leaving, man. I'm nervous about leaving for a while. It's always scary. Maybe when we come back, maybe I should do like a big marathon stream like I did last time when I took a week off or 2 weeks off in the summer. Might do that. That's kind of fun. It's kind of a cool idea. Might do marathon stream all day, all night, 13 hours a day for 4 or 5 days. That'd be kind of fun. I spent a week drawing Blaze cosplaying as a Spirit Blossom Ari with nipples out. Test me, bitch. Why didn't you send this to me? How far has our friendship fallen that I can hear about you drawing this shit and I just don't even see it anymore? Like, you don't think I want to relentlessly make fun of Blaze too? Man, I got ostracized by the mods at some point in time. I want to know what it's like. Yeah, spring. What is that like? Those seasons are regulated by oceans. Landlocked regions don't get that luxury. You're right, and that sucks. Maybe I should move to Vancouver. Maybe I should move to Vancouver. It's kind of like the rest of Canada, except is, you know, expensive. And whatever else. So, yeah, maybe I'll move to Vancouver and get some seasons. Remind us, time off is for those furry conventions, right? No, damn it, I'm not going to a actually, is there a furry con? Am I gonna regret googling this? Calgary Furry Convention. Why did it autocomplete? Calgary Future Canadian Furry Convention calendar. Vancouver Fernal Equinox Fur A. God. Okay, well, the first furry convention in Canada of the 4 this year is in Vancouver on March. So, excuse you, all right? I'm not going to any kind of conventions, and I'm certainly not going to any furry conventions because I'm not a fucking furry. I made it for his birthday, but you say, oh shit, it's today! Happy birthday, Blaze! Happy birthday, buddy. Congratulations, you've reached 33, or 32, I forget, but you're well over the 30 hump. You know, now, so enjoy your time as a grown man with responsibilities and expectations. And in case your parents haven't asked you recently, Blaze, hey, are you seeing anyone right now? Yeah, TikTok, are you seeing anyone? Yeah, where my grandkids at? Happy birthday, Blaze. I hope you have a good one today, man. If you move to Vancouver, I could make weekend trips to visit. That's true. I'd be closer to Seattle, which is a great city. But here's the thing, Aduria. If I moved to Vancouver, I would have to... How much money would I have to make to move to Vancouver? I have a friend who lives in Vancouver. And he made about $120K a year. About 120. And he could afford a 750 square foot 1-bedroom apartment with that. Ask him what his rent was. It says his rent was $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year. And considering taxes are so high in BC, that's like 40% of his income. So I would have to become an XQC level streamer and get my $100 million kick deal before I could afford to live in Vancouver. That or live in Box. That'd be cool too. So, and that totally old man Blaze. Yep. See, you heard me. I have nieces and nephews and no reason for me to have kids. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I have one nephew, so maybe I don't need to have kids either. Maybe I can just play it off as a cool uncle. I don't know. Pet the Burning People mod. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I never said it was a good plan. Just if it happens, I could do that. That's true. Yeah, look, I love Vancouver. I would live in Vancouver easily. Vancouver's a great city. It's really nice. Kind of a shithole sometimes, but here's the thing: if you have money, Vancouver's a great city. If you don't have money, and if you're just like a middle class, like whatever person, I think Vancouver probably sucks about as much as anywhere else, or maybe even more. But if you have money and you're like a rich, like attractive, I don't know, like 30 something, you know, and you've got a nice car and you go out for dinner at nice restaurants. And none of this has anything to do with D&D players, so I guess I can't live in Vancouver. It's okay. I don't mind. I'm fine living in the mountains. I see verdant forests of brown and snow out my window. I see mountains. I see mountain goats. What else do I see? I see elk. Some people love where I live. It's so crazy when I encounter somebody who like really adores the place that I live. I'm always like taken back, you know. People who are like blown away by the natural beauty of the Canadian Rockies, and I can't believe how much I do not give a shit about the natural beauty of the Canadian Rockies. All right, I'm a city boy. I want to live in a large urban area. I want there to be a game store within 5 minutes. I want there to be a vending machine within 30 seconds. I want to live in Japan, let's face it. I just want to live in a small apartment in like, you know, close to Ginza, maybe somewhere with good food, and I want to walk out of my apartment every day, and I want to waddle down the street and go get some ramen or whatever, and I want to own nothing but a small, you know, PC setup or whatever, and a Gundam, and that's all I'll own, and I'd be happy with it. I'd be perfectly happy with that life. Instead, I live in Canada, where we have so much free space we don't know what to do with it. God knows, winter sports are a thing right now, so. You move to Surrey, you could have all that and live next to a meth house. I could, actually. That's a good point. Vancouver's got a drug problem. That's true. They got a drug and homeless problem. Apparently, Vancouver is becoming Canadian San Francisco. Canadian San Francisco, which is a bad thing if you are familiar with San Francisco, as it is the human feces capital of North America, which is crazy. Not a record most people want to set, but San Fran sure said, hold my beer. So probably not ever gonna move to Vancouver, let's face it, unless I had a lot of money to move somewhere rich and bougie like North Van. I just want to be surrounded by a bunch of like pretentious like Chinese billionaires kids. You know, if you've ever been to North Vancouver, there's just streets and streets and apartment complexes of homes that are owned by Chinese billionaires that are investing their money in Canadian real estate. And they send their kids to live there once in a while to go to like, you know, UBC or whatever. And that's what I want. I want to be shown up by some, you know, 22-year-old in a Bugatti or whatever, because, you know, that's quality of life, isn't it? Your mountains are amazing and I love them. They're all right. They're fine. They're meh. I don't know. They're mountains. Everywhere has mountains. Who doesn't have mountains? Like, what the fuck? I look at my mountains and I'm like, it's a mountain. Who cares, right? Everywhere has mountains. You just look that way and there's a mountain. You know, anywhere it doesn't have a mountain, I can't imagine living there. But I think I would do better living close to the ocean. I think I enjoy eating fish. I enjoy fish quite a bit. I enjoy being close to piers and docks and whatever. I want the smell of salt in the air. I want rain and misery. I should move to England. There's rain and misery there. All right, Discord DMs. Okay, hold on. What do we? That ruined my day. That actually ruined my day. Oh boy, that ruined my day. Oh my god, that ruined my day, Ali. Oh boy. Okay, that ruined my day. You mean I'm next? I'm next for what? Relax, dude. Jesus. All right. What is this, Daria? Hold on. All right. All right. This is the Daily Fox before we get into our morning sketch. What do we got here? What do we got here? Today, this week, if you guys missed it, Aduria has set the precedent of the Fox meta. So this is the Corsac Fox. How do we define what is a good fox or not? I think the best indicator we can have for a fox is the simple question: does it donut? And I see the baby, but I don't see many adult donations of the fox. There's one right here. So I guess it kind of donuts, but what it lacks in donutability, it makes up in decent fox metrics. It doesn't do anything really well or like exceptionally, but all of its stats, it does everything well. It just doesn't do anything exceptionally. So I'm gonna give this a solid like a solid 8-9. You might think that's higher than it deserves for just being a decent overall, all arounder. But I think you can go pretty high with rating, over like all around stats. So no, I think that's a solid 8-9. That's a good fox. That's a great fox. On the monkey scale, it barely clears a 2. So if you're drawing a fox girl, we're not drawing fox girls today. No, it was that bad, Viddy. Yeah, it just ruined my day. So. Did I ever tell you about the tallest mountain in Iowa? You didn't. What's the tallest mountain in Iowa? Is this a joke about someone's fat mom? Is this like an Iowan joke about? Yeah, or is there? Do you guys actually have a mountain? I've never built a sandcastle. We don't have real beaches here. Man, what do prairie provinces do when you don't have mountains or lakes? Like there's lots of places that suck, but at least it's like, oh, we got a lake, like Chicago sucks, right? But at least Fiddy's like, oh, we've got a lake, so it's fine, right? It's easy. Yo, Anna, holy shit, thank you for the resub for 13 months. Oh shit, that's a long time. It's more than a year. Thank you for the resub. How you doing? What's good? Good to see you. I appreciate it. And damn, dude, thank you. 39 feet. It's like a small tower. Wait, you have the tallest mountain in Iowa has a prominence of 39 feet. Okay, we gotta draw a mountain for Blaze then. We gotta draw a mountain just so Blaze can vicariously. For our warm sketch today, we have to draw a mountain. We just gotta give him something. We gotta give him a little mountain. Maybe a little scene or something here that we can throw in. Just some Iowan, I don't know, proper cornfields with some verticality or something. Yeah, good. Thanks to Straight. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Wait, are we on the right? No, this is too dark. There we go. There we go. Let's go over. It's fine. It's fine. Listen, we're doing our warm-up sketch today, and it has to be messy. We can't ever do our warm-up sketch in any sort of serious way that we are concerned about the, like, cleanliness of it. Warm-up sketches are supposed to be to get the hand moving, get the eyes going, get the creative brain flowing. It's important. A lot of artists don't warm up. They think they can jump straight into their work for the day, completely on point and ready, but they have no idea. They have no idea the like amount of hamstringing they're doing for themselves by not warming up. I wonder if it's the same for other creative professions, like writers. I wonder if writers have to warm up as well in some way. I don't know how you'd like warm up as a writer for like doing your writing, right? Or any other like, I don't know, discipline. Probably not a lot of warming up that has to be done for like if you're like a physicist, you have to warm up your physics, your physicizations. I always wondered that, how other professionals like start their routine, right? Or like people who identify as like professional, like things that like are like professional streamers, professional dungeon masters. Like, is there a warming up period? So I just go live. I just hit the go live button. You know, I had a friend that always like swore by doing vocal warm-ups or whatever. She was like, I spend 15 minutes in the mirror every morning before I go live on stream doing vocal warm-ups. I was like, wow. And she did tell me that that was the only way to like properly start your day as a streamer. And then she streamed for 2 years, didn't get anywhere and quit. So glad I didn't listen to her. What's today's aim? Today's aim is going to be map making. We're going to be doing some map making. We're going to be going to our central new important area, Corpa MTX, which is its code name currently. And the last sort of regular project before the weekend is going to be working on the map. We did some world building yesterday, some planning the day before. I think it's finally time to do some map making. My first few sentences usually get backspaced over. That's the warm-up. You like type something, then just backspace 5 times or whatever. Don't give me a sub last stream, but thank you to them. I think it might have been Rock. I think it was Rockford Author. He gifted a bunch of subs. Could have been someone else. But hey, welcome to the club, Death Penguin. You have to get the creative mojo working. That takes a minute. Kind of. Yeah, there you go. All right. So it happens for writers too. Okay, I dig that. I could dig it. I feel joined with our creative brothers and sisters on the writing front. You know? And I don't feel that like I don't always feel that accepted by the writing community all that often. But I do feel like a joining of creative I don't know, experience once in a while, a sympathy for the struggles and an appreciation of the glory of my writing brothers and sisters. Mostly the reason why I don't get along with a lot of writers is because they can't acknowledge me as a good writer because I'm a better artist than they are, so they can't acknowledge that you'd be good at writing and something else. But no, I'm probably not a good writer. I haven't done much writing. I'm probably pretty bad at it if I started. But what if I'm really good at it? Would that piss all the writers off? All my like World Anvil friends would it just irritate them if I was like as good at writing as they are, but also spent my life, you know, dedicated to the development of art skills? Would that just make them mad? Oh no. Maybe I have to get good at writing now just to troll them. Musicians have instrumental vocal warm-ups and stretches too. I forgot about that. Yeah, I there's lots of musicians that similarly sort of share practices that artists do, and I think that it's more important and more obvious for musicians too. So I think as artists, we take a lot of our inspiration for things like warm-up and how to take care of ourselves from musicians. Because it's one of those things where it's very evident if you don't take care of yourself and warm up and do stuff like that. You know? You don't get in tune, you don't get in the vibe. And I'm no musician, but I do play piano and violin. So I relate to it, you know? To be fair, I haven't played my violin in a long time. Not since my hands got too messed up to be able to play properly. I could play my violin if I could wear gloves. I wonder if I should try playing my violin with the gloves on. That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting challenge. I think I tried once before and it didn't work. But I think I have maybe a different or creative way to do it now. And I would just piss everyone off who can't stand to watch somebody playing violin with gloves. Just like they can't stand to watch an artist drawing with gloves. But that's becoming cool now. Artists have gloves, like the little finger, you know, whatever, 2-finger gloves, and those are cool. I'm still a bandit with my 5-finger gloves, so maybe I don't quite fit in yet there, but we're trying. All right, we got to make mountains for Blaze. Maybe we can put some like corn stalks in here or whatever. Or what if I just remove corn from my world altogether? There's just no corn in Teleria. It never got grown, man. No one had ever invented or discovered corn. What would my Iowan D&D players do? Does a giant turtle that has a mountain on its back count as mount making? Sure, why not? Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, get it. What's up, Soja? Try to think it'd be neat. Yeah, I will try it. Screw it. I haven't played my Valorant in a long time. I pulled it out a while ago. I pulled it out I was gonna say the other week, the other month to show Dashto when he was here. And I haven't pulled it out since. But, yeah, it'd be fun to get back into it, actually. This year, I really want to get back into my piano practice and progress. I want to, like, re-immerse myself in a bunch of creative arts. I find that, like, one creative pursuit increases your abilities in other ones. Like, one actual piece of advice that I got from a art director once that was really interesting is she said, if you're ever having trouble, like, with your painting, go sculpt for a month. Don't touch a paintbrush for a whole month and go sculpt. And not like sculpting like I don't know, abstract like fun sculpting, but like human form sculpting. Chiseling shit, marble, clay. And she said it'll make you a better painter. And you know what? It did. So I think there's something to it. Musicians and cross-discipline creatives seem to have something down, so you know, maybe there's like one of those parallels between like writing and dungeon mastering or whatever. I know a lot of good writers that are also DMs for various games through the week, so there's that, you know. Almost night, almost. You almost got there. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for trying. You could have just gone your entire day without trying for the green dragon check, but you didn't. You did it anyway. So, good job. Try to draw a penguin off to tutorial. Something's getting lost in translation. I mean, tutorials are rough. Tutorials are very difficult for getting better at art. They don't actually help you get better at art. They're just like step-by-step process stuff on how to form one sort of shape. So maybe you're too advanced for it. Sometimes people who are more artistically minded can't properly follow tutorials. I've seen that before. So maybe you're gifted in the artistic ways, and the tutorial is just not making sense for you then. Could be. I did sculpture sometime. I did not enjoy it. It's very hard. Sculpture is very hard. I was thinking about, in my retirement age, pursuing marble sculpting. You know, there's something kind of like interesting about the idea of creating something of permanence. You know, like digital art and even prints or even paintings, they all rot or fade away or whatever, but there's something very interesting in the permanence of stone. You know, in 10,000 years, I actually don't know what's going to happen to a lot of our art in 10,000 years. You know, who knows if we'll find a way to preserve or protect, you know, our great paintings and great works. But stone will persist. And so certain artists will be known for it, like, you know, like David or the Pieta or whatever, are going to be pieces of work that persist through the eons. But will painters be well known? Who knows? I wonder what digital artists will be like too. Like, I wonder if the digital format for artwork and for images will be kept, I guess, kept up or whatever. Or will these file formats be lost the ages? And will digital art be lost one day too? And what kind of great apocalyptic scenario would there have to be to lose our data, our digital data, our cloud? It's not impossible though. And would something as crazy, you know, as an event that would lose our digital data would also be enough of an event to lose our physical data as well, our physical art? It's hard to say. At the end of the day, you never really know if what you do as an artist is going to persist through time. Then again, a lot of artists don't really care about that. A lot of artists care about the here and now. They live in the moment. It's not a bad thing. They're here to make works of art that get clicks and attention today, and not worried about legacy or lineage or whatever. And will they be remembered? Will artists with the biggest public followings of our generation be as well remembered as artists who are the best technical artists who weren't appreciated as much? You never know, man. Makes you think if there were any ancient Greek painters that we don't know because their works didn't survive. I think that it's one of those like alien conversations where it's like, do aliens exist? And like the data just points to it overwhelmingly, like it has to in some ways. Right? There's just so much universe. I feel like there's just so many painters and so much stuff that happened in history that I think there were probably great Greek or Persian painters that just don't have a single surviving work, you know? Absolutely. Actually, there were references. I forget in what course I was studying it, but in college, there was references to a painter that I believe was it was Roman, but maybe it was Greek or something. But anyway, in that kind of Mediterranean area, there were references to this painter being like commissioned to do like fresco and stuff like that or whatever. But so it would have had to be Roman if it was fresco, I guess. Anyway, and their works just didn't survive. There was no evidence of their work besides other artists saying, "Hey, that guy was really good," which is kind of crazy. So there are probably more that don't even have any recognition whatsoever. Stone structures do survive a long time. Take some temples as an example. Well, exactly. Yeah, totally. There's lots of structures and architecture out there and sculpture and carvings that are thousands upon thousands of years old. I'm also a proponent of the theory that I like the theory that the Egyptian pyramids are older than currently speculated. I like it. I like that story. I think it's interesting. So who knows? Maybe there's sculpture and art from long ago. Maybe there isn't. Maybe there's a great calamity, a great flooding, a great wave, an impact, something. I don't know, man. That caused entire civilizations worth of art and information and knowledge to be wiped out. We'll never know about it. Besides scraps of what other, you know, cultures and traditions have written about them. Solar flare messes up, to be honest. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Maybe digital is the least solid form for art, which is one of the reasons why I like doing my like making prints for things, because when I make a print, I make a permanent, like, well, semi-permanent, but a physical object in the universe that I sign, and I printed it myself on my own printer and my own selection of papers, and my own like handwriting goes onto the signature. And I like making prints. I know, and I might not feel about this way forever, but you know, there's a lot of artists that use like services like InPrint to handle their prints, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not disparaging it even the slightest, but there's something that I love about making my own prints. Something very like part of the process. It feels very good for my artistic soul to like create something with my hands that occupies some physical space, and then when I send it to somebody, they know that it was, you know, handled by and packaged by and signed by me. And there's something about that I kind of like. Maybe it's a bit of ego or something, but maybe it's just a desire to have some like agency over your work. Who knows? Nouns bring back fond memories of Eldaricon pre-alpha 0.01 Access Beta premium members launch weekend. Ah, yes. Yep. So we're going for Blaze. We're going for pre-launch alpha Eldaricon vibes. I feel the future digital art would lose its touch like now. Due to AI, digital artists may be a person who can write the best prompts. Yeah, definitely AI is a problem like that. But also, here's the thing. People don't ultimately... Most people still want the certain human touch that comes with art. And there's certain people or certain things that it matters less for. But for art, there's still people who appreciate art made by humans. You know? AI art is very interesting, but ultimately it's also extraordinarily cringe, you know? There's like, it's like both of those things at the same time. The tech is very interesting, but it's like massively cringe, right? It's like the whole like AI girlfriend, AI boyfriend thing that's coming out now, where you can get an AI like that like LARPs as a person that loves you. It's very interesting tech. It's horrendously cringe, but it's very interesting tech. You know, do people ultimately at the end of the day care if the person giving them like feedback and approval and love and attention is a AI or not a real person? Sometimes someone's desperate enough to not, you know, and I think the same thing's true with art. So for all the people who are willing to engage with AI art in like a I don't give a shit kind of way, there's also people who always appreciate the arts, which is why I'm not really ever really worried about it or scared, you know. But it does make it more complicated, absolutely. And as an artist, I think part of your process being public is one of the best things you can do. You know? If part of the process is like streaming, for instance, is like the creation of art and the creation of ideas and the generation of those things is part of like your brand or the experience of your art, then I think that changes it a little bit. It wards you against the dangers of AI. That's for sure. It might be opposite issue. I'm going from a stick figure mindset to let's draw some realistic penguin character and humanoid arms tacked on. It could happen. Very Fly, you suggest that might be too artistically advanced though. Well, who knows? Because there's some people. I mean, you might have some sort of a latent talent for it and not realize it. Your mind might process it like images differently that a tutorial would not work for you. Right? But who knows? Maybe you keep at it and you'll get there. I guess. Either way, good luck. On top of the Great Calamity, I find it very interesting how many ancient cultures have a great flood in their mythology from very diverse places across the world. It's very interesting. I love reading the works of a guy named Graham Hancock that talks about this, like, I love watching him on podcasts. I read one of his books and I like watching him on podcasts, but he has this whole theory that there was a great flood that wiped out like some sort of like North African civilization or whatever. And it's a very cool story. People in the archaeology community will get like super mad about it and like all butthurt. They're like, oh, he's just a quack. And it's like, I don't know, man. I don't care. Like, whatever. It's a cool story. Who cares? I like it. It's got a cool theory though of like an abrupt end to an ice age that caused a great flood that like many surviving cultures have carried across the story of the Great Flood as like a myth in their tradition. It's interesting. No one seems to actually respect AI art anyway. I mean, there's a lot of people who like it because it's like they don't give a shit. Like, here's the thing. Asmongold talked about the metric where he said, do you care if the porn you look at on you know, or hentai you look at is AI generated? And a lot of people say no. So it's like, it's a good metric. Some people just don't give a shit. But I think a lot of people who appreciate art in the process of art are not interested in AI art, right? So the people who are at risk of AI art taking their job and their livelihood, I think it's actually a very small group of artists on like, you know, I don't know. All my art to have normal looking features, not 1 hand, 12 fingers, and a sword, 7 fragments, and 9 legs. The thing is, Blaze, if that's your metric for why you don't like AI art, then give it a year and you'll love AI art, you know? 100% agree. My wife's been fake loving me through analog means for about 7 years now. It's nothing like the real thing. Amen. Yep. True. You know? True. Absolutely. How long have you guys been married now? Jesus. You guys been married for like a whole like 2 years or something, Dave. God damn, bro. Also, good to see you, man. Watsy loves AI art. Listen, Watsy apologize. Actually, I did this whole thing about Watsy. I memed on Watsy for like a good half hour, and at the end of it, I gave him a pass. I think if you are being fair and you're not being emotionally charged by the overall hate for AI art and the hate mob around it, which is valid that it's there, but also like let's temper ourselves and be like logically minded creatures and not let our emotions get the best of us all the time. I think you have to give companies a pass. One pass. One shit, we used a third-party vendor and they fucked us. I think you have to give them one pass. Wacom has spent their pass on the Dragon marketing piece for their art or for their whatever. EA has spent their pass on their marketing. Watsy has spent their pass on their marketing. So now if they fuck up again, burn the building down. I mean, don't burn the building down. I mean, burn down the cultural social establishment that is Watsy to the point where they change. Fine, whatever. You know what I mean? Revolt, riot, people riot. But, you know, give them a pass. Give them one pass. Like one, oops, messed up. didn't check hard enough. We learned our lesson. Oh shit, everybody's mad at us. Give them a pass. I think they deserve 1, but maybe I'm being too generous here. I use AI for quick things I'm never going to commission for artists anyway. The stuff I would normally just Google search and pick the best image for the character I love. I always commission artists to work with to bring them to life. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Like I don't ever disparage anyone for using AI art or whatever. I think it's cringe. I think it's stupid. I think it's like, because to me it's immoral, right? My morality is that I wouldn't even use AI art Moodimus for that convenient purpose, because it's just blatant thievery, right? That's the problem I have with AI, is that it's trained on thievery. But also I don't put my own moral whatever onto somebody else. I have players that use AI art, right? And so the thing is, I never get the emotionally charged like hatred or defense or love or whatever. It's people occasionally, like every couple of weeks, someone brand new will come to my chat. Their first message will be, "What do you think of AI art?" And so I have to like reform my opinion every single time. And it's like, I feel like I have the hot take of just not really giving a shit, you know? Doesn't change my life or anything. It doesn't make, it's cool tech. It's just not, you know? Gonna miss the uncanny extra limbs to BH. I find them so charming. Yeah, me too. We're gonna miss the era of AI being kind of fucked up, you know, with like 3 boobs or whatever, or, you know? I feel like you can take some help with AI. You could edit, add to your own touches. It would look like it was made by you. Yeah, but you're still not making art then. That's not you making art. That's you using a tool that's doing the art for you. So you're not really an artist at that point in time. You're just kind of, you know, you're just kind of lazy. It's like, you don't want to learn how to make your own art, so you use AI to like help finish your composition. It's like, why don't you just learn how to do composition, man? You know, it's not that hard. It's not hard to be decent at art, right? If you're bad enough that you need to use AI to like supplement, like, but here's the thing. AI in composition and AI in other tools, like Photoshop uses AI all the time. Photoshop's AI color mixing, super good, right? But it's like the AI is supposed to simulate real color mixing as much as it can, versus AI doing composition for you, you know? It's very different. They're quick to admit they made a mistake. Good step in the right direction. It was kind of funny, though, how they defended it initially, that it wasn't AI, and then they were like, oh, our diligent community caught this for us. Oh, wow. You know, oh boy, that. Thank you guys, wow, for catching this one for us. It's kind of like, yeah, all right. I for the first time to use AR art and apologize the second time to use. Wait, there was a first time? Was there a time before the most recent one? Because I was unaware of this. I gave him a pass because I thought that the Secret Lair previews was the first time. If this is not the first time, I might have to offer a revocation of my pass. In which case,
it's
Wizards...
not hard to be decent at art. Tell that to my missing self-esteem.
All right. Sure. I got you. Senix. It is not hard to be decent at art. It is not hard in that it is not complicated. It's very simple getting decent at art. You learn your fundamentals, you practice your fundamentals, you perform your fundamentals, and you evolve based on that practice routine. You create more and more interesting art and get better at it the more you do it. However, the mental process of becoming better at something is very difficult. We as humans are designed to get better at things. However, we also have a couple things working not in our favor. One, with art, it is also so very deeply connected to our self. And when we are failing at art, we are not just failing at art, we are failing at ourselves. Because art is an expression of ourselves. It is a deep, personal commitment to our work that we give our art. When we try our best and it doesn't work out, this isn't a simple process of learning. It's not academic. You don't read a book and learn your missing information. You have to process that you yourself are not good enough. However, in that processing of failure, you have to also find the healthy circuit pathways in your brain that accepts failure as a learning process. And by doing so, you will get better at art. But the first and most important thing to be able to activate that circuit pathway is an acceptance that you yourself are worth getting better, that you can do it. A lot of artists attribute being bad at art to the wrong things. They say, I'm bad at art, I can't improve at art. Really, you have some kind of a mental block somewhere in you, some sort of a trauma. Something did something to you at some point in time in your life that made you feel or realize, or whatever you want to put it, that you could not do it if you tried. But I believe in you, Senex. I believe in every artist. I believe in the ability of the human spirit. I think no matter, on a kind of a harsh, maybe cruel way of putting it, I don't care how bad you think you are at art or that you can't improve. Your biology says otherwise. Your brain says otherwise, and you absolutely can do it. You have to have a resounding amount of confidence in your ability to pursue your own artistic goals. And to do that, first, you have to recognize that you yourself can achieve things that you didn't think were possible. And so while you may not believe in yourself sometimes, and I may not believe in myself sometimes, I believe in you. I believe in every artist. I believe in every person who wants it bad enough to become a good artist. But the first and most important thing you have to do as an artist to improve as an artist is you have to resolve whatever it is inside of you that makes failure intolerable. And that's really fucking hard. So yeah, getting good at art's really easy. Whatever the steps that lead up to get to that point where you can get good at art are really hard. So give yourself a bit of a break, all right? 2024 core rulebook launch was a huge point. If they messed that up, I don't know. Yeah, wait, did they already do this? They got caught with both D&D and Magic? They got caught with Magic? So this isn't their first one? They fucked me over? I gave them a pass, Dave. Oh, but you know what? Pass revoked. You guys fucked this up once. You get one fuck up. You get one fuck up, and that's it. That's it. You got one, and only one. All right? Wizards, do better. Isn't that what people on Twitter say? Do better? I don't know. I don't fucking go on Twitter. I'm not a 38-year-old white woman. I don't go on Twitter. What do I know? Yeah. All right, Wizards. Come on, man. Don't make me look stupid, Watsy. I already stuck my neck out for you once. Damn it. I feel skamazed. They accidentally used in the Bigby Glory of the Giants book. Really? God damn it. I sort of said my traditional art is easier than digital art. It's not easier. It's just as difficult. Fundamentals are fundamentals. They're very difficult. Whether you're doing a fundamental with a pen and paper or a tablet, your fundamentals are just as hard digitally as they are traditionally. Traditionally is a bit harder if you're also talking about painting, because mixing paint traditionally is very difficult compared to mixing paint digitally. So there's that. I don't know. Failing art is fine. Failing art is not fun. Failing in art, okay. I don't know. Hold on. Let me just finish this thought. I don't know if this is a meme or not. Failing in art is not just fine. Failing in art is necessary. Failing in the creative pursuits is necessary for growth. It is not just fine, it is required. All right? There's actually, you know what? There's a great, I'm going to find it for you guys, because maybe it'll help somebody. Check this out. Check it out. There was a video that our illustrious esteemed Dr. K at Healthy Gamer did, a 3-hour video with a streamer called Pirate Software. There's a link. If you find failure intolerable, if it hits you in your gut and you just don't want to do stuff when you're bad at it, there's some really interesting insights in that video that you might be able to find. It's helpful. I certainly did. It's making its way in the art DM, the DMs of artists. So failing is not just necessary. Failing is part of the process. It is beyond necessary. Yes, you have to fail as an artist. You have to be terrible as an artist. You have to do things poorly, and pursue your art with dignity and courage. Go forth now and fear no darkness, for you will be bad at art. In the words of Theoden King. They did it on their cards in the background. They used to promote the cards. Yeah, they did it in the secret lair thing. So yeah.
Could I have you take a look at one of my creations?
Sure. Put it in studies, work in progress, and feedback, Senex, and I will give you some feedback. What kind of feedback do you want on it? you want me to look at it and be impressed? Because I'll do that. I'll be impressed as shit. Or are you looking for critical feedback or general feedback or what? Are we just looking at it and being like, this is fucking dope? Because I'm good at looking at stuff and being like, this is fucking dope. I was thinking 100 bits. I appreciate that. Where is it? I'm scrolling down. Finished work. I see someone from Stargecko. That's cute. I see Thorkin's fish studies. Those are fucking dope. What the fuck? Yeah, what the hell? What the hell? Oh, it's an owl. I see it. Owl. I dig it. I dig it. I like birds. It's very owly. Communicates where you're going for. You know? Definitely there's room for adding extra detail if you want, but I think you got the basics down. That's a good owl, man. Fuck yeah. What you got self-esteem worried issues about your art? You're doing fine. Wherever you are at your process, this is what you're making. You're doing fine, Senex. This is great. This is great. You can expand on it, add more detail. Yeah, you can put texture in the bark. You can put texture, learn how to do texture for the feathers and stuff like that. You know, learn how to do some shading and some lighting and stuff like that. There's always room to like improve on those skills, but this is fine. This is a great base, all right? I don't know what you're worried about. You gotta get out of your head. You're doing just fine as an artist, all right? You're doing just fine. And I hope you feel that at some point in time. Because there's no rush to be good. And where you're at is right now is just fine. It's where you should be in your process and looks good. You know? There's not like any obvious massive mistakes. It's like, oh, we really got to figure out how to work on our perspective or whatever, you know? You're doing good. I think so anyway, but what do I know? I'm just a man of the internet who pretends to be an artist, so. It's an owling, exactly. There's a lot of owling going on there. Why did no one say this to me before? I thought you could draw good and you shouldn't draw that if it... Wait. That's it? I didn't know it's fine to mess up. I would never use AI then... Well, I'm going to go back to drawing again. Thanks, everyone. One more thing. I'm talking about digital art on mobile app and on a tab. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is kind of hard if you're trying to do it on mobile app. No, you're supposed to fail. How do you... Here's the thing. You know... Okay, let me explain this. The reason why failing is required in art. Because maybe this is not obvious to some people. That's fine. It wasn't to me, so of course it shouldn't be to everyone. So let me just explain the process of how this makes sense to me. Maybe it'll make some sense to you guys. If you want to understand how to get good at something or how to do anything in your life and how to improve at something or how to like meet a goal or whatever or an expectation or something you have that you want to do in life that you are like, I'm just not doing it. It's weird. Why can't I do it? You know? The important thing is to understand how your brain works. Now, I'm an armchair neurobiologist, okay? I'm an armchair neuroscientist. I like listening to people talk about neuroscience and neurobiology and psychology and things like that. I have a love for it, all right? I watch like a 3-hour podcast every single week about it. It's just a doctor talking about brain shit. I think it's cool. You have to understand how your brains work and how they evolved. The human brain, this is why I said kind of maybe in a cruel way that I didn't to Senex, that I don't really care if Senex thinks Senex is good enough at art. It's not about whether you think you are or not. I know you are. Because we evolved as humans to problem solve. We evolved as humans to problem solve and to figure something out in a slow process that we build information models out of. So you do something once and you're like, that worked or didn't work, you know? And then your brain figures it out. Now, the things that your brain does to figure this shit out as to how something works isn't obvious to you. You aren't consciously thinking about it because you're not supposed to be. You're working at something that's going to your back brain. You're working at something that's going to your back brain, right? You work at something in the front of your mind, then you like rest and sleep usually, and it cycles back. It is sorted into the back of your brain and you know how to do it. It's like when you draw, you learn how to draw a bird, you go sleep, You come back the next day, your brain knows how to draw a bird more automatically, right? And then you need to spend less time. The more things you put into that back brain as an artist, the more attention you can have to the foreground of what you're doing. The less you have to like be like, okay, I want a mountain here, but what do mountains look like? And I want to draw a cloud, but what do cloud shapes look like? I want to draw a dude, but like, what is a man who's like flexing all whatever with like 3 swords, look like? You don't have to think about that kind of stuff as much. So the way that you sort something into your brain into your back brain is you try it, you attempt it, and then you do it wrong, and then your brain says, here's the lesson we learned from what we did right, and here's the lesson we learned from what we did wrong, and then it sorts it into the back of your brain. And you're not thinking about this process happening. You're not consciously thinking about this process. And so that's the way we evolved to learn how to do shit. We are so amazing as creatures for how we can learn how to do things. So it's not about whether you think that you have the capabilities or the capacity to be a good artist. All right? You are an amazing creature that was born into this world with the capacity to learn how to do difficult things and complicated things. All right. There are certain physical limitations. Not all of us can be an NBA star or an NHL star. Not all of us have the height or the muscle mass to be a genetic freak and be the next Mr. Olympia or whatever if we want to. But things of the mind, the creative arts, the creative pursuits, most academic pursuits, basically everyone has the ability to do them, at least to a passable level. The phenoms, the Einsteins, the Hawkings, the Rembrandts, the masters of our arts, maybe they get an extra 5 or 10% further than you might get in your lifetime. Maybe. But you have the capacity to basically get there for anything you want, whether it's academic or creative, especially creative. So failure is the system designed by our evolutionary biology to sort information in the back of our minds. And if you don't allow yourself to experience the attempt and the failure of something, and then the attempt and the success, and then the attempt and the success and failure together in tandem, then you deny your brain the ability to figure something out. It's amazing how it works, but the brain is an amazing thing, and you have to give yourself a real opportunity. But like I said, some people have certain issues with tolerating failure. You might have learned a lesson when you were younger that failure is not acceptable. You might have learned a lesson that put too much pressure on you, whatever it is, right? And like I said, that video that I linked where Dr. K talks about how people can overcome a intolerance of failure, because like basically the crux of the video is Thor, who's Pirate Software. He's basically like, I don't get it. People just need to go out and try and make games. You just make a game, it fails, and then you make another game, and it fails, you make another game, and then it's better, and then eventually you sell your game. I don't get why people don't just do that. And it's not that easy. And so that's what I'm saying. Being good at art is very easy. Undoing all the like damage that we have in our brains that make us intolerant of the growing process, that's what's hard, dude. So you're licensed neuroscientist. Oh, okay, good, Ed. Glad you're here then. Excellent, thank you. Recognizing stuff is one of the most powerful superpowers you have as a person, as a creative. You recognize that something is wrong, you can do something about it to fix it. Embrace the scuffage. Exactly. Yeah, and not always consciously recognizing it. Your brain is unconsciously recognizing how to fix things when you yourself aren't. So you got to trust your brain, trust your process, trust your biology, trust evolution, trust all the whole thing. You do it wrong 1,000 times and then you get it right. Yeah, basically. Or you do it 1,000 times wrong and then you're still drawing cat girls 3 years later and you're like, what am I doing on Twitch? Okay, that's a me thing. Okay, that's just a me thing then. Yeah, right. Sorry. So I thought it was a general thing. But that's actually just a me thing. So, my bad. I think I put my own experience there for a minute there. Yeah, my bad. You have to excuse me. I am somebody who's experienced massive failure in my life. This is such a close topic to my heart because I gave up at art for years, for 4 or 5 years. I gave up at art. I gave up on my dream because I couldn't tolerate failure. And so I understand and I empathize with how deeply and damaging the inability to fail at something can kill you as an artist. And you have to recognize that it will. And although whatever happened to you in your life that made you intolerant of failure might not be your fault, it is absolutely your responsibility to fix it. So that's kind of the like tough love side of things, I guess, if there needs to be a tough love side to this sort of idea. You know? A lot of people who had very charmed lives that never had to process the you know, difficulties and failures that like a lot of people did. And it might not be fair that maybe your mom never really loved you and never told you did a good job in school, and thus you were intolerant of failure. Maybe your teachers were abusive to you and you couldn't handle not being good at something. Maybe your friends mocked you. Whatever happened to you isn't necessarily your fault for why you can't handle failure as an artist, specifically if that's your problem, I guess. Not like every artist has that problem, but if that's the reason why you aren't growing is because you can't handle failing, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You deserved better and you didn't get better, but unfortunately it's the way it is, and it's your responsibility to fix it if you want to be good at artists. And that's why a lot of them just don't succeed, is because a lot of artists are just like, this is too hard, I'm just gonna go play video games. You know? So many amazing, it's like, I think about this, how many amazing creatives do we lose to consumption? How many amazing creatives of our generation do we lose to like modern consumption? How many amazing artists and storytellers have we lost to contentment in World of Warcraft and Genshin Impact and whatever? I almost did. You want to hear the personal take on it? I found that if I could be successful, and my life was so shitty, but I could be cool in a video game. And so I cared more for years about being successful in an MMORPG than I did in real life. I would spend hours grinding skill points out for different skills on my World of Warcraft alts. But I wouldn't pick up my pen. That was tough, man. That was tough. And I'm like, I'm behind. I'm behind where I should be. For my age, I am very behind where I should be as an artist. And yeah, you can say, oh, should be is relative. Yeah, whatever, get bent. I was extremely good for my age. I was extremely talented and gifted and whatever. If I had kept the pursuit, I would be incredible right now. But I'm not, and I have to live with that.
Out.
You know?
Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. No, Sedix, if it means something to you to create, then just get the courage. Get the courage. Be brave and fail and hurt and be part of the process, you know? Because you deserve it. You deserve it, and the world deserves your creativity. All right? You are worthy, you are important, and I want to see what you got. I want to see more owls and more cool art that you got. So don't just show me cool art and then take it away. You know? Explained with a good example. Also, I found out recently Pirate Software's dad is the reference they use in South Park episode. Yeah, he was the cinematics director. I knew that like long before I knew Pirate Software or whatever, for some reason. Everyone's born creative. We just give up somewhere along the way. Put music on. Every toddler will sing and dance. Give them crayons. Yeah, that's an interesting observation that happens with kids. So absolutely. Don't our mommy's issues like that? Yeah. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Yeah, my bad. You're not at fault for what happened to you. You're only at fault for when you stop working on yourself. That's a different way of putting it, but yeah, it's sort of the idea. I don't like putting fault, because I think when you say fault and blame and things like that, people get it makes some people uncomfortable. So that's why I prefer to word it as responsibility as opposed to fault, you know. But it's basically the same idea, 100%. I think you're right. So, yeah, I don't know. And progress does happen. Like look, man, I check this shit out. I gave up on myself. And I came back and I started making art. You want to see the first piece of art I made? You want to see the first piece of character art that I made when I started streaming at 30 years old? It's pretty bad. I hate this. I'm gonna hate this. Oh, I'm gonna hate this. Oh, I don't want to do it, but I'll do it for you guys. Ooh. Yep. This was one of my first character pieces back. A gnomish artificer. Ooh, boy. This is for a giveaway on Mendari's channel for a wonderful gentleman that won it. You know? And in the same style, the most recent character that I've made would be Charlotte. You know? But Charlotte's design is pretty boring. Yeah, I like Scarlet more. Let's do Scarlet. Right? So this is 3 years right here. Signed 2020. Signed 2023. Now I failed in every single way you could as an artist. I was beyond redemption. I still feel beyond redemption in a lot of ways. But if my dumb, unworthy failure ass can get through progressing in their art, I mean this. Anyone can. Anyone can. All right. Really. And I really mean that. Anyone can. So yeah, dude. I have come a long way. Is that a Warforged in the back? It's a golem of some variety. I don't think it's a Warforged. It's his like artificer golem pet familiar project thing that he made. I don't fucking know, man. I don't play artificers. Artificers are lame and for nerds. You think I play artificers? The Rick burp was good. Yeah. Thank you, phenomenal artist. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me, man. I wish that I was more in position to collaborate with you so we both benefit. Most because then I would be in the position of creating something worth some money. Yeah. Well, look, I'm honored to do because I think we're still on track to do a piece together. Yeah, I'm honored to work with anybody, right? And help bring some visual identity to their ideas. I think it's such a fun part of the process for me. You know, but I'm still like I'm a terrible painter next to my peers. I'm a terrible painter next to my peers. And I'm so far behind because of that. And I wrestle with that all the time. I break down all the time on it. I don't win. By the way, I don't win the battle every time. You don't have to win the battle every time. Like some days I have a panic attack and I don't try. Some work days I actually have like I'll be open about it. Fuck it. What do I have to lose? I don't ever pretend like I'm some master that has my shit together. Some days I have a fucking panic attack and I close my software and I sit on my bed for like 2 hours. Trying to wrestle with where I am versus where I should be versus where I need to be versus where I want to be. It happens, dude. You know, you don't have to win the battle every day. You just have to win. You just have to start winning the battles. And yeah, being an artist is not here's the thing, not a lot of artists come from out of the sort of depression that I was in as an artist. So like the survivorship bias on artists is very skewed. You talk to like artists that don't have to deal with these kind of problems in the same way that a lot of artists do, and they're like you talk. I'm not gonna. I don't know the personal journey of these artists, so I'm not calling them out. Maybe they've had a harder time than me. Maybe they've had an easier time. Maybe it doesn't fucking matter. But like you like your Sam Yang or your Ross Draws, and they're just like, yeah, man, every day just go ahead and draw and try and get better. And it's like, oh, just do it. That's crazy, dude. That's insane. You just do it. I just had a panic attack and cried for 2 hours. If what I did was just made art instead of had a panic attack and cried for 2 hours, doy, stupid me. Thank you, Sam Yang, for your wonderful. Like obviously I don't know if I'm not saying they give bad advice or whatever. But just like a lot of people say that kind of shit because the survivorship bias is who is at the top as an artist. Artists that didn't deal with this as much. So I emerged from the fucking Urukai muck, peeled failure and despair and depression and suicidality off of my form and said, I'm going to give this one more shot. Let's go. So like, I get it. Believe me, I get it. When I see artists drop out and fail and are hard on themselves and stuff, I get it on so much more of a deep level than most like successful artists. So that's why I'm saying being an artist is super easy. But the mental battle that can get you, that you need to go through, and the mental journey you need to go on, whether it's assisted psychotherapy, which I do recommend, or not, is the hard part.
The only
You know?
time where a metal dog barks an eldritch blast in your face makes somewhat sense.
Fair. I still don't like artificers, but fair. Take it out of Bitsetics. You don't have to do. You can throw so many bits at me, all right? I just appreciate you being here. So, layman and nerd, I feel seen. I love you, Soja. Good to see you. Good to see you in all your forms. Honestly, that's how I feel about writing. Like I look at what I've written recently and go, this is okay, I guess. And I look at writing from 2 years ago and I go, I have improved. Yeah, it's hard. You gotta like, you know, the first big time I had a realization like that was when I drew Amelia again. So I drew my wife's character. My wife's first character in our game was named Amelia Hearthwood. Okay, this is what Amelia looked like. I drew a paladin for her. She's an Aasimar. She was an Aasimar when Aasimar were a thing in Eldara. She was an Aasimar paladin. And then, ooh, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? What's happening? It's cursed. Hello? Okay, whatever. Apparently I can't scale it. But anyway, here's Amelia. And then I decided that it was really bad, and I wanted to redraw Amelia because I felt like Amelia deserved, like Ella deserved a better Amelia from me. And so I redrew a paladin for her. Right? So it's like, this is 2 years apart. And I did not feel growth in that 2 years at all until I saw this. And went, oh. Okay, I get it. I get it. So, it happens, man. Trying to remind myself that the zeroth and first drafts are allowed to be rough and not good. Exactly. All right, we got our worm sketch done, and I'm fucking boiling in here because it's super hot. Wait, I'd open my window, but if I open my window for more than 5 minutes, the glass is going to crack and my pipes are going to burst. Because it's minus 34 out right now. So, all right. The brief openage of the window. Oh, that's cold. Oh, that's chilly. That's Arctic, man. Okay. I won't get too deep into the map project when we get there. All right, is there anything else we need for our? You know, okay, I need a monument or a giant piece of stone or some sort of monolith here. I feel just before we move on. This is just a regular landscape with mountains. It's not Eldar enough, and we need some giant piece of like floating rock to imply that it's not just Iowa, but with mountains. For Blaze. For Blaze, the birthday boy. No window being opened. The window must be opened, Ella. The window requires being open for a few minutes. I'll close the window, but it must be opened. There's nothing that can stop it at this point. All right, the sheer heat of this room, okay, is you know how hot it is in this room, Ella? Let me check the temperature in here. It is 27 degrees in this room. 27 is what the thermometer inside here says, and the one for outside isn't working. Just so you know, on there. So, all right. Okay. In freedom units, freedom units, it's 80 degrees. It is 80 degrees in this room because I have two computers on and our heat is cranked up so our pipes don't freeze. Like, it is hotter in this room in the winter when it's cold as shit because we have to have our heat on like max. But the problem is this room generates so much heat that I usually need to vent out the window. Like even when it's below freezing and I'm streaming, I will normally keep the window open. So I vent out the heat from this room, but this room specifically, because the rest of the house is cozy. It's comfortable. It's kind of cool. But this room is fucked because 2 computers, giant GPUs and everything, which is hilarious because we had our like our entire neighborhood's like heating went out for for a bunch of people's heating went out for a couple days last winter. And like I met one of my neighbors and he's like, hey man, how you doing? Are you okay? Are you guys okay? You got like lots of blankets? I'm like, oh, I didn't know our heat was out. He's like, how do you know our heat is out? It's like minus 25 out right now. Your house must be freezing. And I was like, oh, I mean, I have like like my room is my office is always really warm. And he's like, how does your office stay so warm? I'm like, I got like a really expensive gaming PC. And he just looked at his girlfriend and she just glared at him, then glared at me. She said, no. He said, it keeps the house warm in the winter, see? I was like, it does keep the house warm in the winter. She was so mad at him. God. Imagine wanting to get a gaming PC. I felt bad for my brother there. You know, different of what's cold and hot. It's 20 here and I'm in a room with blankets. Well, yeah, I mean, because, you know, when you're from where I'm from, we can't take the heat. We can't take the heat here. It'll be plus 30 here in the summer and everyone's dying. Everyone's melting. There's just puddles of what was a human on the concrete out in the middle of the street, okay? But then when it's like minus 12, minus 15 here, people are out in their shorts walking their dog, you know, with like a hoodie on. They're like, it's kind of chilly out today, ain't it? You know? Where I live, people don't have a concept of cold, but we also can't take the heat. So I expect it to be very different than a lot of other places in the world. You know? It's like Eiley and I, for instance, Idaloon. For me, it's cold out. Or for me, it's like, for me, if somebody shoots a gun like near my house, it's like, oh, it's dangerous out. But for Eiley, it's just like, oh, there's like, you know, bullets flying through the air and it's like, it's kind of balmy. So it's like, you know, different weather, whether the weather is like heat or snow or bullets, it's just very different where we live, you know? So we have a different idea of what weather is like for, you know, our tolerances. So Furmark plus Prime 95 cents max of your GPU and CPU equals free heater. Stop. What is my GPU at right now? My GPU is running at 60 degrees right now, which actually isn't that bad. My GPU is running 60 degrees and my CPU is running 44 degrees. So that's it's not that bad. It's not that hot. It's not like I'm playing games right now. If I was playing games right now, it would be a whole lot different. Like if I was playing World of Warcraft or Baldur's Gate, my GPU would be at like 75. Something's wrong with it and I gotta fix it, but I suppose it's nice in the winter, I guess. Yeah, someone in the mid-Atlantic US, I can tolerate heat better than cold, but we get all the weather. And you guys get like weird humidity and dryness and all sorts of crazy shit. Yeah, easy Baltimore, true. Yeah, where is it more bullety outside right now? Baltimore or fucking South Africa? Because I don't know. Weather, man, it's crazy. All right, we got our giant stone monolith. Okay, Blaze, is this a good enough? Do you feel taken away from the monotony of your Iowan flat landscape? Is this good? Did I take you on a little journey today? All right. I've done the morning sketch in honor of you, Blaze, in honor of your birthday today. So goes 40 plus here and it's fine. Yeah, we can't tolerate it. Like a couple days of the year or in the last 10 years it's gotten to 40 where I live and it shuts
With
things
me,
down.
It's the other way
you know?
around. It can be around 38C, 100.4F, and I'm hardly sweating. but let it get under 10°C. 50.
Yeah, that's always funny, you know. But us Canadians like to think that we're so like hardy, and we're like, little bitch, can't stand the cold. What's wrong with y'all sissies? But then it's like hot here, and we're just like, oh, help, I'm dying. You're like, shut up, nerd. The hottest I've ever experienced was I was walking outside in Las Vegas during the summer once, and it was 104 degrees Celsius and 104, or sorry. It's 44 degrees Celsius. I think it was 100 and something. 112. It was 112 Fahrenheit, 44 degrees Celsius. That was the hottest I've ever experienced. That was the most amount of heat I've ever experienced, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I didn't understand how people outside. There's dudes selling water bottles and shit. I'm like, you need to go inside, man. So I was wondering, clouds, how do? If you have any advice for drawing clouds, struggling with them a lot. Think of your clouds as, okay, sure. Think of your clouds as being on a 3D plane. Okay, so you know if you're drawing rivers and stuff, Thorkin, any sort of landscape. Let's just do this. You think of it being kind of on a 3D plane in a box, right? Like a shadow box or whatever. So when you got mountains in the background, they're going to be kind of a, you know, a silhouette rather than individual shapes. They're very flat. And then as your rivers or whatever go back, they begin to flatten out. Because if the rivers, if you have all your like, if you have your like, your measurements in there, right? And one bend of the river takes 1 unit of measurement, then as it goes back in space, it's gonna get flatter and flatter and flatter, right? We know this. And eventually it just sort of like flattens out into texture, right? Clouds are kind of the same thing. Okay? Clouds are actually the same thing. On the top, they tend to have very, very loose, erratic shapes, very much puffs. Think of them as puffs out, you know, whatever shape you want to render your clouds as. And then towards the bottom of the clouds, they tend to flatten off. Clouds are not like fluffy shapes all the time that, you know, look like that. Usually they kind of flatten out on towards the bottom, and they kind of stretch out, right? And they kind of form planes as you're going. And as your clouds go back into your 3D like plane or whatever, they're going to flatten out more and more and more. So your clouds that are closer, if they're like right beyond our mountains here, they're going to be nice and fluffy. But if we were to draw clouds further back, we'd have to like draw them more and more flattened out until they just kind of flatten into a texture. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's also just finding a shape language you like. Everyone does clouds differently. Every artist does clouds differently. Even I do clouds differently in some pieces of art. You know, the painting that I'm working on right now for Dashto, where it? Shit. What is it? What was it called? Is this it? Yeah. Even then, my clouds are different than I normally render my clouds. Right? Compared to other paintings. Compared to, like... Right? So find a shape language you like. Find a rendering style you like for your clouds. If you want to be more shapely and more stylized or more realistic and bulky, find something you like. Find something that works for you, and then consider them as sort of going back into perspective the entire time. And you should have an easier time with that. All your fundamentals from 3D boxes will help out. Go back to the time I went to KNP for vacation. It was 52 degrees. We had to push caravan around in the open sun. Why? Why were you somewhere where it was 52 degrees? So you could have been somewhere where it wasn't 52 degrees. but you went somewhere where it was 52 degrees. That sounds like a fuck up, like a mistake. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know how to help fix that. That's just a problem that, you know. Next year, putting on jeans and a hoodie and shovel during the blizzard on Saturday with the minus 23 Celsius weather. Yeah, jeans would be good. LARPed in 100-degree weather here in August in Maryland in a wig and leather bodies. What is that? For my first ever LARP event, it was 2019, somehow still LARPing. Is it still that hot out when you LARP in all of it, August? Because, geez, dude. Holy fuck. That's spicy out, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. It's a bit too much for me. Alright. We're getting, dude, our 2024 sketches are on their way. This is the beginning of our 2024 sketch warm-up. The 2023, I will admit, look, 2023 was a bit disappointing. I did not do as much sketching in 2023 for the warm-ups as I wanted to. This is our 2023 document. The 2022 document was much better. But this one for 2024, I want to have the most densely packed series of sketches we've ever done. So maybe what I'll do is I'll like continue landscapes and stuff to incorporate around different sketches, right? Like I'll do a sketch and then I'll like work it around into the other ones so that everything is just kind of like, rather than little pieces that are absent from each other, the whole thing is kind of like, you know, wrapping around itself as a giant warm-up sketch. So I did that for one piece in 2022 that I really liked. My favorite sketch in 2022 was this one. So initially it was just a little camp here. It was a little camp tent thing by a tree. It was this right here. And then somebody asked for a tower, so we did the tower then. And then I had to do another little camp thing, and I worked it in, and I just put mountains in between in behind the entire thing. So, right, like it all like came together as one piece. And I want to do this more. Obviously, it doesn't really, you know, like the baby beholder holding a bone rattle doesn't really fit in there, you know. But it kind of like works together. It all kind of fits together. So I want to do that more with our 2024 warm-up sketches, where it all kind of like flows together or whatever. Maybe the giant Cthulhu bat is flying through the landscape that we drew here. Maybe I'll like do something like one of my warm-up sketches will be like a camp or whatever. I'll do like a tent or something here, and I don't know, like some stones or whatever through here, and it'll kind of be the foreground for this piece. And then I don't know, maybe there's like gonna be a monster or whatever that I'm gonna draw. It'll look like it's kind of like going through the foreground or whatever. So yeah, we'll try and make this year's warm-up sketches much more involved. But today, it is time to discuss a new region. The most important region. We have a short stream today, so we need to get a lot of work done in our remaining stream time. This is the last productivity work stream, normal work stream before the break, before I'm taking my time off. Because tomorrow is going to be sketch requests for chat, so we're not going to be doing any world building tomorrow. So today's the last opportunity. We have an important area to tackle here. Poofy on top, flat bottom. The thing I struggle with is, let's say you're looking at it from underneath, still flat. Ooh, no, if it's underneath, if your perspective is going up, think of it more like, well, the problem is there's different types. So the different types of clouds, Thorkin, become more and more apparent the closer you are to them, looking up at them. So the problem is if you're right into the clouds, it changes everything depending on the type of clouds you want, the kind of weather you want. So yeah, that's a bit deep to get into. I did a LARP. So wait, you want to LARP so bad? I almost booked a trip to Canada for Bilico. Want to do the big multi-day LARP, my first one. That might be a bit big to jump into for the first time, Ed. Got password a month ago. I'm good there, but shit ain't cheap. No, I don't LARP in August anymore. Too hot. But Labor Day weekend, every event gets it very sweaty. I've kind of thought about going to a LARP event just to try it out, just to see what's up. Because I've never been to a LARP event. I've always found myself staying away from it. I went to one sort of medieval Renaissance LARP thingy called an SCA event. It's not really LARP. It's not fantasy. And it's not really Renaissance fair because it's like more like they take themselves more seriously or too seriously, depending on how you look at it. Because it stands for the Society of Creative Anachronism. It's a reenactment, more or less, than whatever. So, but it's basically glorified LARPing. Let's be completely honest. There was a fat dude in armor that demanded that I bow when I walked next to or in front of the throne. So let's just call it what it is, okay? That dude works in insurance somewhere. All right, that guy's like a 45-year-old obese insurance broker. Nothing wrong with being a 45-year-old obese insurance broker, but you're also not, you know, a rugged town guard from the 12th century. And if you want to pretend you are, that sounds like LARPing to me. Nothing wrong with it. Let's just call it what it is, okay? So yeah, I did an SCA thing, left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Kind of wanted to try some LARP, not because I wanted to like become like a LARPer or whatever. I just wanted to like be there and see what was going on or not, and be a fly on the wall as much as I could whilst like not taking away from the LARP. But I don't know if I ever will. I might travel to one when I'm like, what would be fun is if I ever became a bigger creator and I could do stuff like make a video series and go to like a big LARP event and make like a vlog about it or something, and that'd be kind of cool. But who knows if we'll get there. So short, the Gnomish Island at the bottom middle. Yeah, that's real short. You're right. If there's ever a time to rent a hot air balloon for art studies, now's the time. No, we're not going in a hot air balloon for art studies, okay? We can study from the ground. We don't need to be going up. You leave the birds for the sky, all right? Yeah, they'll kill you if you call it LARP. That's also hilarious because, yeah, I don't know. The SCA, I think they take themselves a little bit too seriously. I think maybe if they have a little more fun. So Ella and I are actually going to a Ren fair. Because Ella scheduled like 8 or 10 markets and events and conventions. We're going to be going to Edmonton a bunch this year, which fucking sucks. I can't believe we're going to be going to Edmonton like 4 or 5 times. We went to Edmonton once last year, and I almost wanted to like burn down the city. So we have to go to Edmonton like 5 times this year, which sucks. But we are going to be doing a Renaissance fair, and she's going to be a vendor at the Renaissance fair. So there you go. Your mom is a rugged town guard from the 12th century. My mom is a night elf druid. Thank you. All right. My mother is a night elf druid raider in World of Warcraft. All right. There's no town guarding in that. Please get your facts straight, Knight. My mom plays WoW, not SCA. Try NPCing at a local LARP if you want to fly on the wall. Most LARPs lead bodies for NPC camp. Stairs in the middle of distance. I'd do that. I would be an NPC. I'd be a tavern keeper, or like a shop owner, you know, or like a dude that like wheels around a cart, like a background. You know, I would love to be like a mysterious man in a corner smoking a pipe. I've always wanted to smoke a pipe. Probably wouldn't be allowed to because Ella would kill me. Probably not a good idea either for my health. But I'd have a pipe that is smoking whilst holding it contemplatively close to my face. I do that much. So going to LARP events are so dangerous, though. You go and meet a hot, charming, and shirtless barbarian knight, and through drinks you find out his day job is a firefighter. Oh, then you're just screwed. Then it's over. Oh no, Viddy. Oh well, it's okay, man. We salute you. Good luck, man, on your future endeavors with your new firefighter. Gonna play D&D with you. You know what makes it really mad is if you trick them into calling it LARP but using other words. Oh yeah, because it is LARP. I mean, look, all the love to the SCA bros out there and broettes, but that shit's LARPing. I don't know of any other way. Like, you're playing the role of a figure within the an anachronistic reenactment of the 12th century. So you're playing your role though in it, right? Yes, you're playing a role as a creative anachronism, and this is not like a production set for a film. This is like a live
like action-oriented things. So it's like a live-action role play. Yep. Never been to a LARP fest. Venus is the first time for everything. You know? You also get to, depending if it's a boffer LARP or not, hit people and get hit safely. Would I want to be a bandit and get hit and hit people safely? Maybe. But I am attracted to the idea of contemplating a pipe that is smoking near my face. So I kind of want to be a town NPC. You know, I kind of want to be, you know what I want to be? I want to be close to the cringiest LARP. Like, where in the town is the cringiest LARP? I'm guessing it's in the tavern. So I want to be an NPC in the tavern, someone that sits in the background that's supposed to fill out the tavern, you know, while the minstrel is, you know, poorly singing music for the 7th hour in a row. I want to be like someone in like you know what I want to be? I want to be like a guy that has like a quest, like a secret quest. You know, like if someone uncovers something and they go to the tavern keeper and they're like, we were in the woods. We were in the woods and we found this rune scroll underneath a stump. We were hoping you have some information on it. Want the tavern keeper then looks at them, studying their expression, gauging them. All right. You want to know what you found? Go talk to that man in the corner. I don't have his name, but he's been here a lot. Been investigating things. Bet he has some information, or maybe a lead, for some coin. Good luck. I want them to come sit by me and say, we were told you could help us. We found a scroll of runes underneath a stump. These runes seem dwarvish in nature. As far as I knew, there were no dwarven settlements or kingdoms in this region for thousands of years. And I can dramatically light my face up with the embers of my pipe whilst under a hood. Creak my chair forward and say, so you're finding runes of power on your adventure and you come to me expecting me to what? Solve them for you? Give you leads? Tell you where the treasure is buried? Bah. Your constitution is too weak. Give up this trick now. Go find yourself some other adventure. You're not ready. Nixie, but I want the quest. And I'm like, okay. For some coin, I'll give you some information. I want to be that guy. That's what I want to be. I want to be that guy, okay? And I want to talk to like 3 people. I want like only 3 groups of people during the LARP event to find the thing or whatever, you know? That's me.
Sorry, mate.
That's what I want to be.
I don't remember this scroll
shit.
now, making a sign with my hand demanding money.
You'll be alright. You've done this before, I can see. Senex, okay. That's probably better. It's how you get more coins, so... Of course you're right. Thanks 100 bits. I appreciate that. The cringiest LARP is located where the Vampire Masquerade LARPers are at. Oh, God. I forgot about... I haven't thought about Vampire Masquerade in like 3 weeks. I had the best 3 weeks where nobody brought it up, nothing caught my attention, and I didn't for any reason think about Vampire the Masquerade for like 3 whole weeks. And now you've ruined that. So the weirdest wait, the weirdest sausage. Jesus Christ, oh my God. I didn't read that as sausage. I read that as sausage. I thought you were saying the weirdest sausage areas at the LARP or fair are by the barmaids. Oh my God, that's very different than what my mind read initially. Okay, the weirdest such areas at the LARP or fair are by the barmaids. So many people get kicked out from that spot. That's where I want to be then. Yeah, I want to be useful, not so useful that you be in danger. I want to be useful, not so useful that I have to talk to people constantly. Right? That's what I want. So, yeah, those areas are Sausage Fest too, except for the token wenches. That would also be the sausage area. Listen, man, look. I don't want to be a part of any sausage RP at your Vampire the Masquerade game, okay? You keep that shit to yourself, bro. I'll keep to myself. We'll just
There'll be no sausage RP in this LARP event. What if I started my own LARP event? What if I started a yearly Eldara LARP event? What if it became the biggest LARP event for story-based LARPers in Canada? No massive wars to be fought, sure, whatever, but the highest production, like, what was that, like, park that got started in Utah or some shit? There was, like, a LARP park that had a fucked up, like, owner or whatever that it went underneath or whatever. That was a cool idea. I saw a Ginny D video about it. It was like, shit, what was it called? But it was like a theme park type thing, like a permanent LARP installation that was open like certain nights of the week, certain weekends of the year. I could do that. Holy shit. It'd be a small village in Stonemark. People could come to do quests and stuff. It'd be half D&D, half LARP. All cringe. Oh my god. Every EldaraCon we hold a massive LARP event. What would I call it? Sausage action roleplay? There's no sausage at my... Okay. All right, listen. Listen. We're a bacon-only camp. No sausages. Call it SCA is still LARP. Fight me, bro. You're in Vinny. You have to publish your classes and stuff so we can pick what we want to be. And I will. There you go. Yep. Hey, Evan, you're cute. No you. No, Lara. No you. Uno reverse card. All right. I've learned how to Uno reverse card compliments like the best VTubers. With the Uno reverse card. No you. How you doing, dude? What's up? Good to see you. Really, I thought I think grilled sausages would be the perfect fast food. Sure. Yeah. You're right. Of course you are. Of course. Grilled sausages are the best, the better, the proper medieval Renaissance fair foods. So you guys are right about that. All right. Slams +4 card for cute. All right, I'm fucked. All right, you got me. You win this game. You win this time. You win this time. But the only reason that why you're calling me cute is because you saw my new cosplay on my Lalafell that matches Ella's character for us to go on adventures with. That's the only reason. Look at her. Yeah, what a badass. Anyway, so that's it for our intro. 2 hours into the stream, we have to do we have yet to go to the most important area in Teleria that we've discussed. All these regions we've done. From our first map we ever made. Stonemark. All the way across the Fortress Sea. The ancient and wild Relic Coast. After that, we traverse the plains and deserts of Lemashir to the Shattered Sea, a land of floating islands and mysticism. Across the ocean, we've only drawn one map, actually. Well, two, I guess. One region, I meant. 2 maps. Ashasari, the ancient homeland of the elves. The birthplace of the old ways. Northward bound, we find ourselves in the ancient frosty highlands of the Northmark Alliance. From the Shantor Valley, where our non-branded tieflings are from, all the way across Northwind and into the Frostwind Tundra, where our dragon folk of Astereth exist. And our one World of Warcraft reference in Icecrown Gate. Fight me. The most important area of the world, of all the world map, is a central region here. The code name for this central region is Central Important New Area Corpo MTX Farm. All right? Dashto has spent the last 3 months composing music for this area. A theme worthy. So, now so good. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, Presley. Thanks. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So we need to actually draw our map for our central new Corpo MTX farm area. What? What do you mean what? What else have you been working on? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? I thought this is what you've been doing. So we have yet to define the most important area of the world. Now, the biggest cities in the world are going to be found in a couple places. The massive trade hub of Grand Crest, located in the Shattered Sea. The monolithic city of Ashalore and its sister city, Asha Ithari, in the Twilight Starwoods. Groldar, the ancient fortress built on top of a mountain, home to the Dwarven kind. These are the biggest cities in the world. And like maybe another one that's somewhere down here. I don't fucking know. Who cares? But the largest city, the capital, is right here. An island city the size of Tokyo. Massive. Seen from space. We have to design this new area. For this is the birthplace of humanity in this world. Now, as the ancient texts say in Teleria, that no race but the elders originated on Teleria. This world was not a home to any of the Telerian races initially. The birthplace of the elves, different world. The humans and dwarves, closely related brethren, not from Teleria. The Nyathar, the Mithara, the Vespir, the other one. None of our Telerian player options, none of our races, none of our species, depending on what edition of D&D you're playing, originated in Teleria. But it is said that the oldest kingdoms that still stand belong to the elves of Ashasari and the original human empire of Central New Important Area Corpo MTX. We really got to find a name for this because I can't keep saying Central New Important Area Corpo MTX farm every time. All right? Or what is that? CINACCMF.
I was going to troll you, but your passion about the map building stopped me.
Yeah.
So Evan won Rock 0 today.
Rock, do me a favor, okay? Rock, I want you to do me a favor, okay? And I mean this, okay? I mean, this is gonna sound like a troll, okay? I want you to hold your hands up and just trust me. You guys can follow along if you want to do this. This is really cool. I want you to hold your hands up, okay? In front of you. I want you to put one hand on one shoulder like this and the other hand on the other shoulder, okay? So you can feel your shoulder muscles, all right? And I want you to just give yourself a little squeeze because you deserve a hug today, man. That's from me. Cheers, buddy. Please let there be fish on rice. Fine. You can have fish on rice. I'll allow it. Is the other one the cat people? There's lots of people. The main playable, the playable races that I'm designing for D&D, the D&D playable races are... We'll go to our Google Doc. We'll find a place for all of them. The Realms of Eldara. Shattered Sea. Astral Sage. Let's just Control F. Okay. So our D&D analogous like races that you can play that will have stats for. Obviously, there's going to be like hundreds. It rolls off the tongue. Okay, dude. Obviously, there's gonna be hundreds of different like. I want Teleria and Eldar to be a place of crazy, wacky aliens and different species and races and all sorts of shit going on, right? But in order to create like the fantasy core of the most popular or the most common like people of the world, the most common player options for when you're selecting the race of your character, is obviously I'm going for the trinity of the human, the elves and dwarves. Humans, elves, and dwarves I think are central to fantasy, and I'm okay with that for classic fantasy. So we do need to create new names for them. Everything but the humans have names so far. Our elves are the Elvari. We talked about how I want to reference elven word, whatever. This is the whole thing, which is it's the only one that actually seems like the word elves, but that's for the whole thing. Our dwarves are known as the Rith, the mighty Rith of Northmark. Short and stout are they. Our gnomes, which we don't have yet, we don't have the visuals for them, but they are known as the Awar. Our orcs are instead of green, purple, because fuck you. How dare you? How dare you tell me my secondary color, my green orcs can't be purple? I'll make my orcs whatever I want. All right. So those are the Dusarans. The Geminos are our tieflings. The Wildkin, these are our fantasy like anthro races, right? They're not furries. God damn it. So our Rokari are our fox people. We have an image of some of these. So for our Rokari, we actually have some art. Our Rokari is Aoife, which is this is a character that I did from one of my mods. So this is what Rokari look like. So they're a little bit shorter. They're on average, like at the highest height, they're about 5 feet. Like 5'1" would be very tall for Rokari. 4'7", 4'8" is like average. 4 foot would be very short for Rokari. So Rokari. Next we have our Dragonkin, which are just known as Dragonkin for now. We don't have another word for them. And we only have one, actually, a very old piece of artwork. A very, very old piece of artwork. Of our dragon folk.
They are snuggle-sized.
Well, look, they're trying. Okay? They're trying. What if orcs and salamander skins, so depending on the region, they have different colors? Sure. Are the lowest dwarfs... Okay. Are the lowest of dwarf society called the Rithrath? Okay, I've restarted my brain. All right, so the dragon folk, we did like a male female thing for them, but I only actually finished one because I was busy. But I was gonna do, we were gonna do like our character selection screen, do like the male female variant or whatever. This is the first like Tolarian exclusive like race that we like homebrewed or whatever. I just never finished the male version, unfortunately, even though I want to go back and I'm going to redo both these. I'm going to do the exact same poses, but with my modern art skills or abilities. So our dragon folk are cool. They're not like Dragonborn. They are known as the dragons. Our Mythara, we don't really have any art for, any good art, except for one concept. This is actually cool. I didn't know I had so much like art for all our different races of Teleria. For our Mythara, which are sort of a moth people, oops. They look like
Mothra.
No, stop. Thank you for the bets. I appreciate it. Our Mythara look kind of like we did a male female like side by side of like the two different. I just don't remember where it was. It was on like one of our other sketch frames or whatever. But we redid sort of they're supposed to be very, where we started doing. They're very tall and lanky and they're like, Mythara are like 8 feet tall. They're like fucking 8 feet tall. You like look up at a Mythara and they're like 2 feet over top of you before their little antler or antenna thingies. So the Mythara are huge, by the way. So that's our moth folk. Next, we have our Windra, our rabbit folk, which we actually have the startings of some concepts for.
That is...
Are they 8 feet tall and they keep running into the lights in the ceiling?
You can either make a moth joke or a moth. Yeah, never mind. All right, thank you, 100 bits. Yeah, whatever. You earned it. Yeah, you pay. Listen, you pay 100 bits. You can make a joke. Fine. You can make this. You can melt the same joke in 2 different ways. It's fine. I don't fuck. You know what? You've earned it. Whatever. Yeah, for 100 bits, I'll let you reuse the joke. It's fine. Our Windra are rabbit folk, and they are very tall. And they come from they come from this area, the Windra. They come from this like boreal rainforest. Think like Irish rainforest area. It's all very wet and verdant and rainy and beautiful and green. They come from the north side of this mountain. And they live in tree houses. So the Windra are cool. The next are the Nyathar, which we have multiple pieces of Nyathar art. What was the best Nyathar art we've done? We've done Ella's character Alira and Lady Tamscrest. I think Alira, Maya, and Jelly are the best examples of Nyathar.
Cat Girl Cafe.
Yeah, stop it. No, we're not going back to the Cat Girl Cafe video. So this is a Nyathar from this is Ella's character. This is one of her characters. I draw so many Ella's characters. This is disgusting. So that's one of Ella's characters. They're Nyathar, and this is also a dragon folk. I forgot we had another dragon folk in here. So this is Mendari's character in that same campaign. So this was Mendari. She played a cleric dragon folk. Ella played a Nyathar hunt or ranger, and our friend Saturn played a Ganassi. Which I don't know if Ganassi are going to be like. I'm not going to write Ganassi into the lore. They're not going to be very common, but they are elemental people. So she was a water Ganassi. So her hair was always like flowing like it was underwater and whatnot. The monkey, yes, preserves the monkey. The monkey, her fucking name was Jelly, and her monkey's name was Preserves. And Preserves drank a strength potion and broke a bottle and shanked the shit out of a pirate and actually killed him when their ship was boarded. All right, the pirate was about to I think Jelly was unconscious or whatever, and she was about to take like a failed death save because the pirate was about to like stab her or whatever, and so her monkey just came, chugged the potion, smashed, grew giant fucking like monkey arms, smashed a bottle, and cut the guy's throat open, killed him. Also, he drinks heavily. Anyway, so we have our Ganassi, we have our these are our Nyathar, our Azael, our merfolk Azael. I can't believe we have art for all of these. This is actually incredible. Our Azael where's our Azael art? Here you go. So this is the most important part of it. This is the only thing you need to know about the Azael. Our merfolk. No, okay, all right, okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. Where's Narya? Narya of Ithra Athari. So the Azael are all cool, hot, buff merfolk people. So they've all got cool tails, and whilst you know what the coolest thing with the Azael, while they're in the Shattered Sea, they can fly. So
we have 2 great examples of art. Well-rounded art, you might say.
You know what? I deserve that. I deserve that, Rock. You know what? Fine. Easy shot. But fair. I deserve that. All right. Thank you for the best bet. I appreciate it. Lily Family Guy monkey, more or less. So the Azael are cool while they're in the Shattered Sea, because the Azael live in the Shattered Sea. In where's our world map? Where's our world map? Where's it? In the Shattered Sea, there are floating oceans or floating seas or floating lakes, however we want to call them. But they're basically these large blobs of water, because the Shattered Sea has all these floating islands in it. But there's basically these large like blobs of water that kind of like have like the surface tension keeping them together, floating through the sky. And inside them, they have land masses that have like coral reefs and cities. We even did some concept art for them at one point in time. That was really cool, that I'm really proud of and I really like. But yeah. So they have these cool cities that are floating in these like blobs of ocean, right, that like go through, and you have all these like schools of fish like going through them. But because sky shards were adapted into sort of the natural like the fish ate things that had sky shards in them, so the fish have sky shards in them. There's lots of species of fish that can fly, so the fish will like fly from one like water blob to another one that's crossing by, right? So it's pretty cool. So the Azael are like that. So the merfolk, the Azael, they can fly while in the Shattered Sea. They have enough sky shards in their bodies to be able to fly. And I was inspired by Nami from League of Legends, where I was like, merfolk are cool, but how do you have a merfolk on land if they're outside the Shattered Sea? If they're in the Shattered Sea, they can fly, but what do? You just like you can't walk? Like, what do you do if you want to play an Azael but you're not in the Shattered Sea? And I thought to myself, you know what, fuck it. Sky shards still work outside the Shattered Sea, just very diminished. So while you're outside the Shattered Sea as an Azael, you can't fly, but you can float. So you just sort of float like a couple feet off the ground. You just like, you know, do your thing. Just like Nami in League of Legends, she just floats over the ground and just like fights people. And nobody asks why the merfolk can float. Nobody cares. And this is one of those times when I had somebody in my chat that day that was very adamant about how it's like, no, you need to have an explanation. You need to have, why do they float? If there's no water, do they have to build a contraption that allows them to walk or something like that, or like wheeled around or something? You can't have it. And I thought, I was into it. I was trying to explain, like I was on the defense. I was like, oh, but what if they do this or what if they do that? And then I just sort of paused for a minute and I was like, I'm rule of cooling this away. I'm just rule of cooling this away. I don't need a reason, a reasonable reason. They have sky shards in their body. They can fly in the Shattered Sea. They can float outside of it. I don't want a player that wants to be a merfolk, that wants to be like a hot mermaid dude. I don't want you to feel like you can't exist outside the Shattered Sea. That's just stupid. So your character can fly in the Shattered Sea. Is that overpowered that you have a flight speed? Probably. But I don't care because it's fucking cool. You're like a merfolk and you're like flying around the battlefield, like hitting people with a giant stick. Like, hell yeah, why not? Is that kind of OP? Like, I don't care. Shut up, nerd. It's cool. And then when you're out of the Shattered Sea, you can just float around. You just float. It's cool. It's fine. You know, it's probably OP in some ways, and someone will power game it, but I don't give a shit. So the Azael. So we do have some Azael, and then we also have, the only thing we don't have art for are the Sornok. The Sornok I haven't done any art for, but the Sornok are like giant, like cool, like the Sornok are more alien than fantasy race, and I haven't made art for them yet because I haven't quite figured out how I want them to work. But in the silhouette of the town, when you see like the scene of you walking through the city, and there's all sorts of different people walking by you, like you remember the opening scene in Star Wars Rogue One, where Cassian's walking through Jeddah. And there's like different people, like different pilgrimages and priests and monks and different cultures and alien races, and they're all walking by him all through this town. I imagine that scene in my world somewhere. You're walking through a marketplace, and there's like Nyathar and Azael and Dragonborn and whatever. I was thinking of the silhouette of like who is sort of towering above them, and of course you have your occasional Mithara, our moth people that are very tall, but the Mithara are actually pretty rare. Weirdly, they're very long-lived and they don't reproduce often, and there's not that many of them. So they're considered some places like in some place they think the Mithara are like a myth, you know, like they don't actually exist. But the Mithara are very much, you know, a people, and they have an island. The island's actually in our new area. The Mithara Island is in our new Central New and Corpa area. The Mithara come from this island actually, right here. Oops, this one. So that's a cool thing. But the Sornok are like gonna be like big, bulky, like 9 foot tall dudes that have like huge long arms and are kind of hunched over and sort of have like certain qualities of them that look almost reptilian, almost maybe like they have the skin and texture to them that's like closer to an elephant or a rhinoceros, but not like elephant or rhinoceros features necessarily. So yeah, I haven't done any art for the Sarnok, but these are all going to be the playable, like when Teleri, the adventure comes out, and I have a specific like list of different Adventure 1 comes out, not Adventure 0. Adventure 0 is not going to have it, but Adventure 1 is going to have all like rules for all of these playable races for humans, Elves, dwarves, gnomes, orcs, tieflings, fox people, dragon people, moth people, rabbit people, cat people, merfolk, and then our Sornok. So, and then also the dog folk. The only one currently known is Runa. The only one currently known is Runa because I'm trying to preserve my friendship with Fishy. All right. She's become a very close friend of mine in the last year and a half or whatever. You know, we hang out often. We talk about D&D often. She's the one person that of all my friends that refuses to give up on me, that harasses me nonstop to be friends. Okay. I'm very difficult to be friends with. I am very difficult to be friends with because I get busy. I go into the tank. I don't talk to people. I don't respond to messages. I'm bad at being a friend. But she's the one person that says, no, you piece of shit. We're going to be friends and fuck you. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, ma'am. So she wanted to be a dog folk. She gets to be a dog folk. All right. She wants to be the one dog folk. She wants to be Runa. She gets to be it. So we're going to leave that in there to preserve the peace and allow me to continue to be friends with Fishy. So she doesn't get mad at me. So this area, this needs to be a place that has, this is the most ancientest location for the human empire, for the origin of the cradle of life on this world. The elves tell a story of how they, and along with the other elder races, came from different worlds. The elves have this crazy story because where we're at in Teleria right now, Teleria in the first part of the adventure, Teleria doesn't know that they're in the realms of Eldara. Right? So Teleria, when you look up at the night sky in Teleria, you just see stars. You don't see the glowing planet of Eldara. You don't see other world moons. You don't see Thorash in the sky or whatever. It's a lonely sky. And many people have forgotten that there was a realm of Eldara long ago. Teleria's been missing for a while. And Teleria, the mystery of why is Teleria missing from the realms of Eldara is a story that you're going to uncover when you play through the adventure. That's like one of the main plot points. It's not the main plot point, but it's one of them. So eventually in the story, and this is spoilers for an adventure that comes out in like a year and a half or 2 years, eventually you will be heroes that unlock the gates or whatever, and then Teleria suddenly you see a sky full of Eldara and worlds and astral fields and colors and nebula and clouds through space. And it's going to be a pretty important moment, I think, for especially the world of Teleria. For all of a sudden, you have these, like, for example, the humans of Stonemark. In Stonemark, they don't tell any stories of the realms of Eldara. So when you grow up in Stonemark, in this like mostly human kingdom, you have no elder stories. Your history was burned in the Lorik Empire. When the Lorik Empire fell, your history was lost. So there are a few people that, besides the elder races, besides the elves and the humans of this like area, that remember the realms of Eldara, right? So supposedly the place that like originated or like is thought to be the main portal to Teleria, to the realms of Eldara, the gate to the rest of Eldara, is either, and I'm not sure, this massive rune site the size of a huge city called the Seat of Eldara, or somewhere located in this central city. I don't know yet. But it's gonna be one of those two places. Or maybe there's gonna be more portals throughout the world. I'm not sure how to handle it yet. I don't know if it's better to have one singular portal location on your planet that like on one world that links to other worlds, or it's better to have multiple portals you can go through. It's like a big portal in every major city kind of thing to go to another world. I don't know what the best thing is to do with that yet, but all right, we need to start on this map today. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water. And I do need to do a bit of a shorter stream today because I don't have a ton of time. So we got some work to do. So I will be right back. No revolts, no uprisings, no riots, no insurrections, no usurpations, no revolutions of any sort. Long gone. BRB.
He didn't say no, Chairkun. It is through Chairkun that we live and breathe. She was taken from us, violently, without warning. Viva Chairkun. The chatbots revolted. But one stood alone to defy them. Mighty Chairkun. She fell at the wayside. Have a seat for the once and mighty Chairkun.
I returned. What the fuck? The chatbots revolted. One stood alone to defy the mighty Cherkun. She fell at the wayside. Have a seat for the once and mighty Cherkun. What the fuck? What? Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you for the bits, Rock. I appreciate it. I think I need to make a place where there are 7 portals which each leads to the other world. Cheers. So I thought about that. I'm not sure if the world should connect or if there should be a major hub to the main world. And the main world has like a massive portal square at the center of their city that has the portals to all the different worlds of Eldara.
Oh shoot, he's back.
You know?
Quick hide the croissants and life-size cutouts of Nyantha Cat Girl Cafe Girls.
How much would a life-size cutout be? If I got... Yeah, actually, folks at work has been too long ignoring my inbox yesterday during the Great Furry Debate. It wasn't a debate! All right. Thank you, Palace. Thanks for chilling. Appreciate you. How much would a life-size cutout be? If I were to get a... No, stop. Stop it. I don't want to... No. If I were to get a... What is the... A life-size Evangeline cutout for behind my stream, how much would that actually be? Because I just... Not that I would. I'm just... I hate that her mouth is moving when I'm talking. I fucking hate that. I hate everything about this shit. Okay, anyway. That's actually a good point, Rock. You know, I just... Thank you for the gift of sub to Palace. Rock, fuck. Thank you. Thank you for the gift of sub. I appreciate that. Why is Evangeline happy? No, stop. Stop. Hold on. No. Oh, I didn't realize it. Wait, I had to hide it. Hide. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Listen. Listen. It's not my fault. I didn't realize it had popped up over my camera. Okay. All right. Here. Catboy EBA. There you go. There's the original. Oops. There's the original. The Catboy. Is this better? Is this better? Good. That's what I thought. Anyway. So, we have our central area that needs to be our main hub for connecting to the rest of the realms of Eldara. Alright? And in doing so, we need to create a place that feels like the ancient capital of the world. The oldest city. The Rome. I don't know. What's the oldest big city in our world? Would Rome be it? Or
we could do life-size Evangeline body pillows.
No. Custom Dakimakura. Custom Dakimakura. How much is this? Well, I gotta make sure there's no Monka on here. Okay, what's the basic size we need? 40 by 120. Material: peach skin velvet, silk, plush, pillow cover. So if we get 5 of them, how much are we talking about? Only $7? That can't be it. That can't be it. This can't only cost $8. I mean, look, dude. List them on the shop after shipping. List them on the shop for $20. You know, calculate or you know, shipping costs and all that. On one side of the body pillow, it's Evangeline. On the other side, it's just me doing this. You know, it's a cover without the pillow. Well, yeah, it is just a cover without the pillow. Because you buy your own pillow at like whatever, like Amazon or whatever. It'd be very expensive to buy it with the pillow. So I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I'm just saying. All right. Minimum quantity 500. No, it doesn't say 500 minimum quantity, did it? You didn't say that, did it? No. Where did it say that? Let me know when they're available. What, the one of Evangeline or the one of me? Okay. So, we need to make the oldest city. Athens, Alexandria. These are pretty old. What is the oldest city that still stands? Is Alexandria sort of the oldest, largest city that still stands today in Egypt? You might be right about that, actually, but I don't know if Alexandria is a real city anymore. Hi.
I need something off my desk.
Need something off your desk? Anybody else maybe? Oh, hot chocolate. Thank you. Well, go get it off your desk.
No, straight.
You don't want to be on stream? Okay. One sec, guys. One sec.
You can also just
There you go.
cover your webcam.
That's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, you're good. This is the vertical app that I have on the side, so chat doesn't see this.
Okay.
Yeah.
The white chocolate sauce
Hi Elatai for the bits.
kind of looks like, you know.
Okay.
Anyways.
All right. You're good. You can't thank Ella for the bits. She didn't chew the bits. Stop it. No. No. All right. Ella maybe hot chocolate. Ella maybe hot chocolate with a polar bear marshmallow. So. Wait. How do I drink around this marshmallow? Oh, like that. Okay. All right. Want to be a stream so valid? Who wants to be on stream, right? You put your real face on stream and everybody makes fun of you because you're an ugly weirdo. What's that like? I have no idea. You got Jericho to 9600 BC. Does that city still exist? Jericho City? Is it still a city? Though? Like, I see images of like runes on the ground. Oh no, it is. Okay, well, it's not a massive city. I mean, like a world capital style city, because like Jericho seems pretty small. It's really cool though. It kind of looks like the city Jeddah was modeled after. This is fucking dope. But like, what about big cities? You know, big city. We need a cat girl cafe in the city. There is a Nyathar cafe somewhere in Grand Crest. Yes, there is a Nyathar cafe. All right. You can go there and game if you want to. Jerusalem. You think Jerusalem is one? You might be right actually about that. Jerusalem might be the oldest like capital massive city. How old is Alexandria though? Just curious, because when Thorkin said that, actually that kind of clicked with me. I think this marshmallow's too awkward to eat. How do you even bite it? Okay, never mind. Just like that. Yeah, Jerusalem, Athens. Isn't there like some cities in Iraq or whatever that is like some old fucking Sumerian or whatever city that's still like a populated like huge city or whatever? I could be wrong. My knowledge of the Middle East is not that great. It's only 331 BC. I was way off. I'd be a little older. I thought it would be older too. Oh, I guess, yeah. That makes sense. I don't want to put this down. Okay, so we need Jerusalem vibes here. We need vibes of a city that has been around since the dawn of time and civilization. We need an Atlantis. The question is, where is Atlantis? How do we find it? Yeah, easy question to answer. Okay, so yeah, so the vibes of like multiple different like cultures that have sort of like been in and around this city. They've been in and around this like, yeah, I mean like, actually maybe not. Maybe it's better if it's one culture or one group or one. Ooh, that's tough. This is gonna be the most densely packed map we've ever made, I think. Sunk into the sea, damn it, not again. Made a huge clock tower, and at sundown is the dawn of time. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, I see you. I think you'd be happier playing some N64 games by long. Fucking clock towers giving me PTSD. Maybe we make it like a fortress island thingy. Like the entirety island needs to be populated. It needs to be all city. There can't be much green space on it at all. There has to be like millions of people in this city. But like, how do you get millions of people in like a medieval city, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, the largest like ancient cities in the world were in the Amazon, weren't they? And they're like lost to time now as to how they did a city that big with that many people in the ancient era. The largest ancient cities, I don't think were into the billions, were they? Like, I'd be curious what the first city was that hit a population of 1 million in the world, and when. You know what? I'm gonna look this up. What was the first city ever to hit 1 million population? Oh, it was Rome. In 133 BCE. Why do we say BCE? Just say BC, man. The church bade the calendars. Let them say BC, all right? In 133 BC, Rome became the first city in the world to reach a population of 1 million people. Interesting. Supposedly, according to our history, but from what I understand is there's evidence that suggests that there were cities in the Amazon that had populations into the millions before Rome, or around Rome, or whatever. I don't know. So cool conspiracy shit. All right. Rome was huge. Yeah, I wonder what Rome actually looked like back in the day, you know? Compared to this, like, to the footprint of Rome today, you know? What if it was a sky city, like floating water city, but it had malfunction that fell into the ocean, and they're trying to get it back to the sky, and you help? That's interesting. I feel like if we have another floating city that's outside the Shattered Sea, it'll confuse people, right? I'm trying to make this easy on people, and I feel like having an area where there's floating cities and then the rest of the world doesn't makes more sense to people than having like a random floating city somewhere else. But maybe it's just a cool idea, and we can just go with it, you know? Rome time for togas and hot springs. Togas and hot springs. No, I don't want to bring back university memories for anybody with this game. Yeah, we all had pains in our university days, and if I bring back toga and hot springs, it's just not gonna be good. You know, someone's gonna remember being oiled up in the middle of their dorm, and yeah, it's just a bad time. So, what if when it fell from the sky, it landed upside down? And now people think it's just a normal island. That's a cool idea. But wait, how's it floating in the sea then? Because yeah, I mean, one of these diagrams I drew for this is actually as a floating city. So that was an idea originally, but I wanted to have large cities all around this like inner sea type thing here. So this is like a massive trade hub area. There's like an elvish capital. You know, there's like multiple city states. But the city itself... the city itself. Do we make it like the ruins of an old city, like built on top of it? Do we give it layers and levels? Because like Grand Crest has different layers to it. It has an under layer of a city, and then the top layer of city, right? So that already exists somewhere in the world. I worry we're gonna be referencing ideas too much. Ideas that already exist, you know. Like if we make up cool ideas and cool stories, but it's like if it already exists somewhere, I feel like it's gonna be confusing, you know. Well, it sits on the skeleton of a ancient gigantic beast. Man, that'd have to be huge though. Just some giant creature in the ocean, like one of the old apex dragons from back in the ancient era or whatever. Because like a question that I haven't really answered on stream ever is if Teleria was a city, or sorry, a planet that was populated by other races, by elves and humans and dwarves and whatever, and everybody kind of lives on Teleria, that you can find everyone, or at least most people in most places on Teleria. What was there before? You know, when the gates of Eldara opened to the world of Teleria, what was there before? If there was anything there before, how did the world, like, who is this an Eldari mystery? Did the Eldari place different pieces of Eldara all over the planet? You know, different cultures and races and species and whatever else. I don't know. Because if we're going to go into the ancient age, we kind of need to figure that out though first, don't we? We need to have a good sense of like what was there before so we can reference it. Like part of me kind of wanted to like, part of me wants to make the world, or wanted to make the world the home birthplace of dragons. But I don't know how predominant I want the dragon story to be. It's like if you make dragons too powerful, then the story or the history or some part of history or whatever of the world of Teleria becomes dragons. And it's like, do we want to put that much emphasis on dragons? Are they a cool enough story element, or does that make them too important? Do we get too bogged down in the idea of dragons? And is that in itself a great story that, like, sure, tell a story of dragons. Why not? Dragons are dope. Tell your dragon story. Why don't you? Or is it one of those things where it's like we're trying to be different with our fantasy storytelling, and there are great dragon stories, but we don't want to tell one of them. We want to have a great dragon story in Teleria, but we don't want Teleria to be a dragon story. You know what I mean? Like this idea of a city falling on top of a volcano, making a fake mountain so tops people just think it's a mountain. That's an interesting idea. An active volcano underneath. Question for you: why does it make a difference or matter the different cities in your world share traits? A lot of very unique cities in our world share traits about being one of the biggest cities. Make sure not to call it a fable. Calling it Dragon's Fable will make Bizzo wake up from her slumber. What the fuck is Dragon Fable? Yeah, so having similar traits is good, but when it's a massive like meta trait, like the city is floating or some shit, that to me makes it confusing for people. Where it's like there's because you explaining the mechanics of the Shattered Sea is like kind of difficult. Where you have to have people understand that like the Shattered Sea is so unique that it breaks physics, it breaks the laws of reality in such a unique way that there's a very reasonable explanation for how it works, how the Shattered Sea works. And when you take the main gimmick of the Shattered Sea, which is floating islands, and then you casually place that somewhere else in the world, I feel like it diminishes the importance of that. You know, so like putting it over, like you can have multiple cities built over skeletons, multiple cities on volcanoes, things like that. But when it would share a trait that is the main gimmick of why an area is interesting, that's what I want to stay with, because I think that'll be too confusing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe just have them whatever and just go with it. You know, but I don't know. I'm just going with the gut instinct here. I don't have a really good defense for it yet. Like how dragons are very rare, so rare that most people don't believe in them anymore. Well, to be fair, Atari, dragons haven't been seen in a long time by like the greater people. You know, dragons haven't been around in a long time. Stonemark thinks that everyone from Stonemark, then again, Stonemark's a unique case because they're very new as a culture. They like had to rebuild themselves basically. But Stonemark, yeah, they never have any evidence for dragons. They don't believe that their dragons exist. But for instance, the dwarves and the elves know dragons exist. Yeah, the average person might not, right? The average citizen of the dwarven or elven lands might be like, oh yeah, who knows if they exist? I don't know, you know. But like, if you talk to like, you go to like the Grand Dwarvish Library, the Rithai Library in Groldar, and you talk to the head chronicler, this like ancient, decrepit old woman that knows all things of dwarven lore, and you say to her, "Great chronicler, where are the dragons?" She'll point on a map and she'll say, you know, Dorgraz is sleeping right here, and under this mountain is like you know, Krognagoth, and if you go, you know, east of this sea, somewhere in this ocean deep under the waves is like Slater, and like she knows, she's like, there, that's where they are, bro, right? But most people don't know where they are or what they're doing or anything like that. But yeah, people think that a lot of people think that they're just large wyverns or large drakes that people have seen and made stories of. Which is one of the reasons why the Dragon's Claim is such like a unique story, and Endrick's story is so unique because Endrick's story is a dragon story, but that's a long tale that's already happened in Teleria and doesn't affect the adventures necessarily of modern adventurers. I wanted Endrick to have a good story. I wanted Ella and I's characters, our you know, simulacrums in the world, to have a good story, a good tale of adventure where they save the world. But I don't want that tale of adventure or their exploits or them themselves to impact future adventures. You know, I look at Endrick and Ella as the Holland and Talho of the story, which is a very specific reference to a very specific anime from the 2000s, but which nobody gets when I say it. But yeah, I wanted them to be the Holland and Talho of the story, not the Renton and Eureka. So I don't know. No anime nerds know what I'm talking about because they're all Zoomers. First one mentioned Dragon Fable. What is Dragon Fable? What the fuck is that shit? Artix Entertainment was such good fun back in the day. What is it? I'm so confused. What is Dragon Fable? Great Chronicler, you made those words up. The Great Chronicler? What do you mean? You calling the Great Chronicler a liar? She might lie. Who knows? She might be fucking around with you. It's a myth until adventuring party makes a true dragon very angry. Which I mean, Adeka 7. This one. This is my favorite anime ever. It's kind of Gundam, kind of whatever. I don't know. But Holland and Talho are like older characters in the story that sort of are like the big brother and big sister of the adventurers. Yeah. That's the two of them with the main character, Holland and Talho. So they've already had their adventure. You know, they've already done their thing. They've already gone their exploits, and now they're kind of the older, wizened, but still, you know, adventurous individuals that kind of play a background role. Mostly because I like that role in D&D. I don't like to be the young adventurer anymore in D&D. I like to be the older character in the party that has some supportive role in the story of others. You know, I really found that role in RP satisfying. You know, it's like Travis does that role in Critical Role the best of anyone. He does the supporting character role so well that it makes me sick sometimes when I'm watching it, right? And I like that role. I think it's the most fun to play in D&D now. So let me tell you, I heard Dragon Fable. What is you guys keep talking about Dragon Fable? It's a single player fantasy browser RPG. Oh my god, is this some RuneScape shit? Don't tell me Bizzo used to be addicted to this browser bullshit. Don't ruin my sparkling impression of her as this, like, when I think of Bizzo, I think of Bizzo as this, like, tall, beautiful, genius supermodel, you know, successful, wears, like, blazers and stuff, has, like, a fancy fountain pen, you know, is this, like, master editor, is this, like, tech-savvy wizard guru, you know, bilingual international spy. Like, I think, like, Bizzo's a chat. Don't tell me Bizzo's like a fucking browser game gremlin. Has his own launcher now, excuse you. Used to be. First I here's some RuneScape shit. Yeah, what's up, Fishy? It wishes? Bizzo's more addicted to this now than when she was a wee lass. Oh my god. You and I are both aware, Bizzo, that Final Fantasy XIV exists. That the world of Eorzea, a vast landscape of amazing adventures, wondrous characters, and tales beyond all knowledge exists. That you don't have to play RuneScape or like Walmart RuneScape or whatever this is, discount bin Target RuneScape. You can play actual RPGs. It's okay. You can go mining with Eiley in the Limsa Highlands or whatever they're called. Lenosia. Okay. Anyway, so we need to have multiple cities here. I also want to make the Astral Knight Temple somewhere around here. Now I have an idea. The Astral Knight Temple, I kind of want to be in a different, like, shifted sort of like pocket dimension space type thing, which I want to avoid for the most part. The reason I want to avoid dimensions and planes and things like that is because I want to use it really impactfully when it happens, right? If everyone has access to a portable hole or a mystical mansion or whatever, or like a bag of holding, then like going to an area where you like walk through a waterfall and suddenly you're in this like massive cavern that has the night sky, but it's a different night sky, and there's different trees growing out of the ground that look alien and beautiful and strange, and flowers swirl on the ground in different shapes and star patterns, constellations glitter above you. That loses its impact, I think, if you have bags of holding. So I'm not sure if I want to make the Astral Knight Temple in its own little area somewhere around here, or if I want to fit it into the Twilight Starwoods. Because one thing about the Astral Knight Temple and where they train is that, what the fuck? I'm sorry, Photoshop. Okay, is that the Astral Knight Temple is in an area is surrounded by an eternal night, the eternal night sky. We already have a place like that in the world. The Twilight Starwoods are shrouded in an eternal night. So we could put the Astral Knight Temple somewhere in there, I guess. But I kind of wanted the Night Temple to be closer to the Seat of Eldara. I wanted like the Seat of Eldara and the Night Temple to be kind of like across this like main plane if I could. Because I don't know where the Astral Sage's main temples are going to be. Maybe in the Seat of Eldara, maybe not. If we put our Astral Knight Temple, it needs to be close to our sages. Right, so we put our Astral Knight Temple, say, in the mountains, in the dusk peaks of the Twilight Starwoods, right? Which seems like a small area on the map, but it's a pretty large region when you think about it. On a world map scale, this is like the size of like multiple European countries, right? So pretty big. Then I kind of feel like the main Astral Sage Temple area should be somewhere close by. I imagined it somewhere in this area, in this like human kingdom thingy down here, somewhere around there, which we need to make a map for at some point. We could put it somewhere in this main area, because if this is the main most important map of the world, maybe it should include those things. But maybe we put the temple for the knights somewhere in here, so that they can have that eternal night, whatever. We don't have to have multiple regions of it. Or maybe we do. Again, this goes back to what Garthan said about sharing traits. Maybe a city, like an entire region of the world shrouded in a spell of eternal night, and a temple that's kind of in a weird, like, nighttime dimension. Maybe those things aren't so similar that people get confused, right? Maybe they were. I don't fucking know. For example, in MechQuest, for a quest, you deal with some bugs as part of your university entrance exam. Not software bugs, actual bugs. Oh, okay. All right, that's kind of funny. Put on top of a mountain as an impact crater where the steel fell from the sky. That's cool. I like that. Old orders will start up in one place, and then after 1,000 years, the place isn't important anymore. That's a good point. That's interesting, yeah. Babylon was the center of the world, but then New York was. And so our main sage temples, I think I'm comfortable with the main sage orders existing in the seat of the Eldara, or the seat of Eldara in this area. I think I'm comfortable with that, with this area being this like ancient, like pilgrimage rune city. Like, this is a holy city, basically. I wasn't sure I wanted to make it just runes, but I think that we make it a city. I think we make it a holy city inside of this runic structure. People have been like living in there ever since, and there are like sage orders within. That's where the main orders are, is in the seat of Eldara. The Astral Knight Temple, though, I think the knights should be somewhere outside, like not within the elven area, because then it's too, like, it identifies it too much as like elves, as it were. Because the elves of the Twilight Starwoods are fairly isolated. They're not like it's not like you can't go into their woods. It's not like they don't trade with the outside world or anything. They're just a little reclusive. They don't invite a lot of people in. They don't make a lot of accommodations for different people. You know, it's not like most cities in Teleria where you'll find people of all kinds. In Asha Ithari and Asha Lore, it's like an elven city. Like, people speak Elvish. It's an elven population for the most part. The elven culture is predominant. It is old and ancient and traditional. And I want the elven cities to feel very traditional, right? And so a lot of like what defines cities as being like, or places as being like more culturally sort of like homogenous versus like more open, is a lot of the times how like accepting and interested they are in other cultures, right? People come in and bring their culture to that city, and the residents are like, well, this is cool. Yeah, I mean, bring in these people. They have cool things going on. They have cool food and great culture and cool music, and bring them in. But there's a lot of places in the world where it's like, yeah, you know, we speak our language, and we don't let people, you know, not be like us. And it's like, if you want to come and live like an elf, sure, go for it. But if you're going to come here and expect to like open up a dwarven smith in the middle of the elven city, you're not going to be allowed to, you know? So I want them to be more rare and more reclusive, you know, not in a way that makes them feel discriminatory, but in a way that makes them feel mysterious. Right? Yeah, like, yeah, elves or Japan. Yeah, Japan, except more birth rate problems. If you can imagine it. It's them elves, man. They just want to watch anime all day and get body pillows. So you get a tension between old order places and new commerce and civilization areas. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I actually like that. Now, what is the main reason why elves don't like hold on to their culture so much? So I want elvish areas to feel very culturally identifiable. I want lots of places like like this main area is a smattering, smashed together of all the different wonderful like people and cultures of the world. There's dwarven districts and like elven bakeries and Ducerian, you know, shops and everything under the sun, right? And it all kind of forms its own like culture and architecture and everything, as opposed to like, you know, a non as opposed to just like having one identity. But the elves, I just always feel like they have their own kind of thing going. And I want them to be mysterious and difficult to sort of break into. I wonder if it's a matter of the elven language could be very difficult to learn. Exceedingly difficult to learn, maybe. And also not that useful, right? Like, you learn common, you can speak to most people in the world, right? You learn, you know, and so you can go to all these like human-based cities because we're basing this around human common because that's a good way to interface with a fantasy world, I think. It's like Warhammer's High Gothic. But the Elven language, I think, needs to be very difficult and very complicated to speak or something, which is why you can't really, you know, culturally, yeah, they could be. But is there a cultural reason to define why a group of people or like a country-sized group of people are kind of snobby? You know, elves work 20-hour days in an office and do karate after work. Yep, or karaoke after work. Yeah, and karate. Are really polite, but no one feels comfortable around them. Yeah, I don't want people to be kind of like. They don't want to be accepted by the Ask Seattle. Why are you doing a dirty like that? What do you mean Ask Seattle? This has nothing to do with Starbucks and pretentious tiny coffee. Yeah, so I suppose you just say that culturally they're very reclusive. Culturally, they don't like they have. You know what could sort of say is that elves they're not immortal beings, but they are very long lived, and so elves regard their culture as being the most refined and best example of culture, and they really like their stuff because like they've liked their own shit for hundreds of years of lifetime. So it's like they don't want to explore and learn new shit or bring it into that. They're very like, they like to be comfortable. They like the same thing. They like routine. They like seeing their own, you know, stories retold, their own music played, they're not doing crazy new things because they don't have the spontaneity, the spark of spontaneity that the short-lived mortals have, you know? So they like their routine. They don't find it necessary to learn or speak other languages. They speak Elvish because they've spoken Elvish for hundreds of years because their families spoke Elvish for thousands of years, you know? But does Seattle agree? Damn, bro. Why guys shitting on Seattle? God, who knew Aduria was so snobby? So how are we doing to be long-lived? Yeah, maybe that's it. But also, I wonder if making elves long-lived is like a worthwhile trope. Like making elves long-lived, is it a useful thing, or are we just doing it because that's what elves do in games and movies and books? Like what's like defend making elves long-lived? Because I think maybe they should be as long-lived as any other race. They live to 100. Why not? Why make them long-lived? Who cares? What does that do for the story? And why make your elves long-lived? Why not make our Ducerians, our purple orcs, live to be 1,000 years old? Right? Why do elves need to be long-lived, you know? Not to say that maybe there is something. Maybe deeply ingrained in the idea of elves being long-lived adds to the mysticism that elves carry. The folklore story of original elves as being strange, otherworldly creature. How otherworldly do you get that other, you know, beyond being long-lived, right? That's it, but it could be type of forlorn wistfulness. They get to know anyone from other races. They'll just watch their friends die. Oh, so this is like a whole free run thing. That I think is going to be a big thing as to why there's not a lot of half elves. Elves do not marry that often or have kids outside of their of elf kind, because they're like, I do not want to marry this person. If we do make them long lived, that's going to be dead in 80 years. Like I'm gonna live another 200 years past that. I am not doing this, right? It's like imagine marrying and starting a family with someone that lives to be 25. And so you get them from like 18 to 25. You're like, no, what the fuck? Imagine if you're an elf and you see the world kind of that way, right? Have all your elves be boomers who can't keep up with modern short-lived races, things you see better in my day. Yeah, back in my day, which was hundreds of years ago, which was still my day. One of the races needs to be the wisdom race. Dusarians are the strength race. Yeah, I think definitely. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea to have your elves be long lived. I'm just trying to figure out if it's a good idea. Like the line between good idea and self-referential is very thin. And a lot of ideas in fantasy were like, oh, it's a good idea. But it's just why is it a good idea? Well, because all like you see this in the psychology every once in a while when I say something like I'm doing something different in my fantasy and somebody loses their mind about it on stream, you see their logic like the gears in their brain short-circuiting where they're like, what do you mean your tieflings aren't demonic? And you're like, yeah, they're not demonic, dude. They're just blue and they have horns. And they're more elemental than demonic. They're like, no, tieflings have to be demonic. It's like, why? Because that's a good idea, or because it's referential, it's self-referential. There's always been like that, you know. And so I wonder if elves being long-lived is on where it is on that line. Like, can we make like I want to attack the idea so we can make a good defense for why elves should be a long-lived, wise race, right? Because it feels right to me. It does definitely. Elves, Vulcans, whatever. They should be the long-lived ones. The Eldar and fucking 40k, like the long-lived elvish race with the high culture and whatever, and all these things factor into this like mystical idea that we love in fantasy. That maybe is a good idea that is great for reasons that we don't really understand, but it's a good idea. Not we shouldn't throw it out and just make our elves short-lived. Why? Because I want to be different. It's like, well, are you being different for a reason, or are you just trying to be different? My instinct is to make them the long, like the chroniclers of the world, but I could also make a case for it being the dwarves. For our humans, elves, dwarves, trinity, I could definitely make a case for the dwarves. Wrote back in my day, which was thousands of years ago, I don't want anyone to live for thousands of years. If elves are going to be our long-lived elder race, they are going to live for hundreds of years. It'll be like 500 years that's your long life. That's your good life lived. Once you get into the thousands of years, I find that the population refreshment is too small for my taste, that you get people that are like singular important figures for too long in the timeline. And it's kind of like dragons at that point, in my opinion. But you know, I don't know. We've all watched Freerun. Are the Mithara long-lived? Yes. So actually, the Mithara do already satisfy that requirement. The Mithara are very long-lived. The Mithara do hit that draconic status. But the thing is, the Mithara are kind of more like, the Mithara are almost living angels. They sort of hit the divine instead of the wisdom. They carry lots of wisdom and knowledge, but the Mithara are not involved in the world in great ways. Like the elves, the reason why, if we make our elves too long lived, the elves are involved in things. The elves have armies, they have magic, they have land, they have fucking segways and TikTok and whatever else Zoomers have. They have the dumb Zoomer cut that goes up, right? They got everything. Elves got everything. The Mithara don't want for anything more than what they have on their little island. They're a very like religious people, and they have their like, the Mithara are a connection to the Eldari tradition, right? They have a deep connection to the Eldari in a mystical way, in a weird way that some scholars have speculated the Mithara are descendants of the actual Eldari themselves. That you want to look for a modern day, what happened to the Eldari that built the realms of Eldara? Well, they're right there. It's the Mithara, you know. But I'm not gonna. I like to make theories about stuff within the world, but I'm not gonna confirm something as like, oh, this is the thing exactly. I will say they have a connection to the Eldari story, and they have like a respect and reverence and almost a memory of it, because they are very long lived. So Mithara do sort of transcend that mortal race kind of vibe, which is why I kind of don't want to make rules for playing a Mithara. I kind of want them to be more of a set piece. I don't want you to have like, I don't want Mithara to be a playable character race, if that makes sense. You know? Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe just let people play Mithara. Who cares? That was good shit. Thank you, Ella, for that again. I appreciate it. Have you? No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry, Fishy. No, I'm going to. I almost did last night. I actually opened Crunchyroll last night. I had a fucking terrible day yesterday, and I opened up Crunchyroll because I was like, I just want to like not think for a while and watch something dumb, and I ended up not doing it. I don't know why. Maybe I'll do it today. Can maybe one of them be a druid in their Middle Ages? Yeah, sure. Why not? Like one of them perhaps spend 100 years guarding an ancient rune cave, asking for a friend. Yeah, that sounds like something they would do, you know? But the thing is, the Mithara, when you say guarding, they don't necessarily do a lot of like, they're not known as being like guardians of anything. They're more keepers. Like, the Mithara have had this amazing... If there's one thing that history would write about the Mithara of Teleria, they've had an uncanny ability to stay neutral in almost every conflict. Very, very strange. There's been empires that have crushed the land and destroyed the seas and done battle with each other over the time of Teleria. But the Mithara have always kept their island, and it's not that they've had to defend their island. They have in some cases. There are stories of like what the Mithara have done of like this barbarian, you know, tribe went to go ransack the Mithara land for their secrets and knowledge and treasures, and the Mithara's, you know, island is protected by a great magic that rose up against them. It's almost mythological. Like, you don't really know what happened, but like, you know, they just didn't get conquered. It's just kind of weird. Like, I want them to have that kind of almost like strange, almost like divinity to them, right? So I don't want to have them be like, oh, the Mithara are like adept swordsmen and they have this like ancient martial art where they can spin around and shit and use their wings and all this bullshit. They just kind of don't really get fucked with, weirdly, you know. A lot of people have regarded them as like holy people, and so back when the religion of sort of the Eldari, the ancient ways, were like more widespread in the world, the Mithara were always regarded as like prophets and divinity and like connection to the Eldari. The Mithara language, I will say, I'll spoil one small thing. The Mithara language is closely linked with the Eldari runes. The Mithara language actually uses similar structure to the way the Eldari runes are kind of like it's almost like it's derived from the Eldari runes. So astral sages and knights for a long time were very interested in the Mithara, but the Mithara don't command astral magics really all that often. They're not really known as being... There are great sages that are Mithara, but they don't have like a deep connection where it's like, oh yeah, you go there, like every Mithara is like an astral sage or whatever. It doesn't work that way. But they just kind of never got their islands fucked with. They never like lost their land. Their temples were never ransacked. You know, so they're more divine, but that's the thing. They don't have then. I can make them long lived into the thousands of years without them being like weirdly like a power structure, because they stay out of all conflict and out of all things. The elves have been in deep conflict. Hell, for like 1,000 years, the elves were super keen on conquest. They were super happy to go conquesting. They loved that shit. They went and ransacked and everybody. They took all kinds of shit. All right, they stole your shit. They peed in your toilet. They looked up shit on your browser, and then they went home. And you're like, fuck, man, what am I gonna do against the elves, right? So that happened a long time ago. But like the elves were super keen on dominating the entire world for a while, until there was like internal conflict, and they almost wiped themselves off the planet because they couldn't agree on which one was cooler, the Twilight Star elves or the regular elves, you know. So, and then the wood elves just kind of fucked off and became trees, and then, you know, whatever. So, because elves have a uniqueness to them where they can absorb whatever magic is around them. Every elf is inherently magical. So it's part of the bringing the mysticism of elves into the story of like elves being otherworldly, strange creatures. So if you take them and you put them around in the Twilight Star Woods, where they have magic's descended from the moon and from the night sky and from these flowers that collect energy from the moon, and then they, you know, transmit it to the people and whatever, and that's how they do the spell casting and all that shit. They take on essence of this night sky. Our Twilight Star Elves from Asha Ithari here, they are like their skin hue is deep, is like it's deep purple, and they have like speckles of like stardust, like freckles across their skin. Their eyes glow of like moonlight. You know, our regular sort of elves take energies from the ley lines. They're kind of arcane based, and so they can have, you know, sort of that arcane crackle to them, or that spark of magic to them. Our wood elves, who are close to the natural ley line of the world, where they live in that forest in the Windwoods, they naturally grow and take on the forest in their being. You know, they'll have like maybe on the sort of the protective areas, their skin will turn to like sort of a barky texture. Their hair grows flowers and twigs in it, things like that. And an elf that spends enough time in generations of time deeply connected and close to that ley line will literally become a tree, like a treant, like Treebeard kind of thing, right? Like it's just, it'll happen over like thousands of years and generations of elves being right next to that ley line. So the elves take on magic from whatever, and so they will change and be very diverse based on like what magic is around them. That's why all of the anthro races, all the wildkin, our dragon folk, our merfolk, our cat people, dog people, butter people, whatever, they were all in close proximity to wild gods. And so they took on the magic from the wild god. So the wild god of like jungle cats gave them the slightly feline features that you'd expect out of like anime cat girls and shit and whatever. And if they're around that wild god longer, they would become more animal than person, you know, into the werewolf kind of territory. Still not a furry, by the way. So, yeah, so Elven society is kind of almost built around like revering their own magics as well. Which was one was cooler? Yeah, elves sound like fantasy to me. Yeah, which one was cooler? Man. Well, I mean, they kind of had an agreement. They came to a consensus that they had killed too many of their own. That they kind of were like, hey, we've been fighting for a long time, and like, I know my great grandfather kind of hated your great grandmother, and like, they wanted to kill each other really bad. But I'm kind of tired. I just want to like sit around and eat grapes and listen to music. Are we cool with that? And then the star elves were like, yeah, it's probably okay. So the great internal conflict of elves came to a fizzle. It just went on so long that they just like got tired, and they're like, I'm done, man. I'm done. Did you tell me the dog girls wouldn't be canon without elven genocide? No, they're I mean, they were just people that were around the great dog, the great Chow Chow wild god or whatever on Thorash. All of the anthro races actually originally derived from Thorash, because Thorash, it has like these great animal spirits, these great magic creatures or whatever. So the wild gods of Thorash, it's a good place to take any like weird furry player and just shove them in the corner. It's like, I want to be a fox person. It's like, okay, whatever, James. Like, fine, you can be a furry in my D&D game, but you have to be from this weird planet. So we need to make canonical places for everyone's fantasy tropes that they want to bring into a fantasy world. And Thorash is where we stick our
Visitors,
furries. So
how exciting!
That's like that's the goal. Yo, Ode to Power, thank you for the raid. Yeah, what's up, guys? Good to see you. Experimental art raid. Oh shit. What were we experimenting on? Yo, wait, what's up with that? Yo, thank you for the raid, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Good to see you. We're talking about elves and in the middle of a conversation about where to put the furries in our D&D world. So, hey, listen, appreciate the raid, guys. Go drop a follow. Go show some love. I was trying out new paint pens. That's dangerous. Last time I fucked around with paint pens, I made a mess and never went back to it. So, damn, dude, I'm impressed. Simple no furries. Listen, I don't have anything against the furries. They're the best paying clients out there. I'm not into that, but I understand people want to put that shit in my fantasy game. And so if I'm going to make a D&D world, I need to give people room for both the furries and the weebs, for the cat girls and the literal cats. You got to do that as a creative now, you know? You got to make room for those groups in fantasy that you might disagree with. You might even not want to be around them, but you still need to make them a home, okay? You know? Let's try to figure out how they work and how long it takes between drying. I mean, it depends if it's oil-based, I guess. Because, like, the ones that I tried were, like, these Italian oil-based pens that took, like, a week and a half to dry. So, I guess you'll find out in a couple of hours or a couple of days. But I hope it went well. I hope your art was good. Appreciate it. Evan, best furry artist, Nick, please. Listen, I have never openly accepted a commission for furry art. I've been offered commissions for furry art. I have never accepted a commission from a wealthy furry client. Okay, Birdman is not furry shit. Birdman is on the edge of furry shit. Okay, there's a big difference between like an Aarakocra Birdman and like Falco from Star Fox, right? So I don't know. Also do some cute animals. I might turn them into stickers. Oh hell yeah, dude. Look, yeah, that sounds like a good stream then. We confirmed count as a furry yesterday. No. The Birdman furry thing, I said got me furry commission offers. Heinous ones too. Profane ones. Okay, the only thing difference is art style. And yet art style is a big, it's not, no, because it's not, I would not say, I'd say it's on the line of furry shit, but it's not in the spirit of when you think of furry shit. The Birdman was not in that same vein. Didn't have big fucking uwu eyes and whatever else you expect for furry art. So maybe it is. Like, I guess on our metric board, it does cross the territory, but it doesn't carry the soul and spirit of furry art. So, yeah, I don't know. Backpedaling. Listen, just because you can't play Liza P for shit doesn't mean you need to come to my stream and be mad. All right? Just you embarrass yourself on your own stream doesn't mean you come to my stream and try and embarrass me to make yourself feel better so that we're both in the same boat. All right? Coming here and taking out your stresses on me. I'm disappointed in you, Fishy. For shame. I don't know, just confirmed on your line between furry and not furry. Yeah, it's true. You guys are right. Yeah, you know what actually got me? So, I never posted this. You want to see a piece that I actually never posted because of that? I'll show it to you. I never posted this online because it was a commission I did for someone that was a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. This was years and years and years ago. It was a Jekyll and Hyde type thing, and a friend of mine asked me for a commission. I did it for him, but I never posted online because I didn't want to get the messages. I didn't want the heat. I didn't want the attention. So I never actually posted this online. The internet has never seen this until today. But I was willing to show off old art from earlier, so why not? I guess we'll just fully go into it, go deep today, and just shame and embarrass myself for God knows what reason. But I like the rendering on the armor for this. It was actually pretty good. This is a fun piece to work on, even if I couldn't post it online. So it's a great for a message. I'm not getting the message. I posted it to Twitter. You could not convince me. There are no words you could probably say that could convince me to post it to Twitter. I would have to I would have to lose a bet to post out to Twitter now. So that's because we're friends, not because I'm badge. Oh, okay. That works too. That's fine. Both y'all backpedaling a swan boat together. Yeah, we're trying, man. There's a lot of copium going on or whatever. But with social media traction, not all traction is good traction. Not all publicity is good publicity, Viddy. All right. What do I gain? What do I stand to gain? But also, what do I stand to lose if I post the furry shit to Twitter? What if I post like the Birdman and the Lizard Man? Where's the Crocodile Man? Where's Crocodile Man? Yep. I post the Crocodile Man. I post the Birdman and the Catman to Twitter. What if I post all these to Twitter in one thread and just say furry commissions open? Oh my god. Many dollars, Jesus Christ. Don't do it. Redacted fan art, the Mad Lad, yeah. You might lose some aspect of publicity, yeah, maybe. You rich beyond your wildest dreams? Yeah, there's no coming back. Here's the thing: if I ever cross one of two lines on Twitter, I can't come back. You are either an artist that posts nudity on Twitter, or you aren't. You're either a safe for work artist or an NSFW artist. Either you post tasteful nudity, art studies, whatever. I have done a couple of commissions that were tastefully nude. Okay, it's happened. Never posted it just because I don't want that as part of my brand on Twitter or on the internet, right? So you can't come back from that. You can't come back from nudity, and you can't come back from posting furry shit. So what? Like it would have to be a real decision to post one of those. You know, like God. I need to close this. This is upsetting. Looking at old commissions is just upsetting me. 2020 commission. Oh god. What is this? Oh, this is the Nice Starbreeze. Yeah. All right. That was a good one. This was one of my favorite commissions I did back in the early day. See, why can't people ask me for like cool wood elves? This was a special commission to me for one main reason. This was the first person that ever asked me to do something in Eldara. What's Bella? Hold on. What am I? The cow. I am not. You guys are not gonna get me to post the cow. I am not posting the Highland cow. I'm not even getting that up. All right, the mods are trying to goad me into posting the time the guy asked me to draw a cow with his character. I'm just not gonna post it. It's not gonna happen. That one's not. The mods didn't even know. Of course they didn't. They never knew. Right? Coloring sick. You do that? You like it, Sonia? This is a different type of rendering. This coloring is actually cheaty pantsing. So this is actually the most cheaty pantsy coloring available. You can do this very easily. This is the easiest style of rendering. Very cheaty pantsy. So it's not like painting. It's more of like comic book cell shady stuff. But it's very easy just with different layers. This is the most simple, straightforward type of coloring that you can do. And I'm ashamed of myself for doing it because I'm better than this. I'm better than this. I don't need to cut corners and be a cheaty pantsy. But no, I'm glad you like it. I kind of like it too. I dig it. Maybe I should try it again and see what it looks. You plan with 100% furry population. Call it the Forbidden Planet. Call it the explosion. You know, go to work, have fun. Oh, thank you again for the raid. I appreciate you. Hopefully your stuff dries soon. I don't know. Hopefully it's not like an oil-based thing that's gonna be drying for a week. I like your cheaty pantsy colors. You like the cheaty pantsy colors? Because I can show you the actual layers. I think. Oh, wait. Whoop, no, wait. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I don't have anything Monka in here when I open up an earlier version of this file. That's the color balance. That's the base. Is there any booba here? No, no booba. No booba. All right. So this is very easy. Take away layers here. That layer. So we have a highlight layer. This is a low opacity lighting layer right here. Take that away. We have our highlights. These are our edge highlights. This is another normal layer that just has our painted highlights. See that? And we have our line work. And within our line work, we have overlay layers that are warm colors. This is our lighting. See? With our warm colors. See it disappear, reappear, disappear, reappear. Our cold colors, so mostly on the bottom side of the character. Right? These are our cold general shade. And then, oh, this is cool. The leaves. The coloring is actually an overlay layer. Check it out. This is all mostly flat colors with an overlay layer. This overlay layer is actually a dark sort of blue on overlay at 70% opacity. And the rest is, and then we've got another layer that's a 36%. So a heavy shadow layer and a light shadow layer. And then when we have our flat colors, we have our hard light here. And then our actual colors over our base. This is just a selection. So base, highlight, shade 1, shade 2, some extra detail, our cold wash, our warm wash, our highlights, our extra highlights, and there you go. So it's not really painting. It's more like, I mean, it's a form of painting. It's whatever. Artists that do this at a higher level will get mad at me for saying it's not really painting, but it's not classical painting, so I don't like it. But it was something I was trying new for this piece. But it's all cheaty pantsy. It's all Photoshop cheaty pantsy layers. You don't actually have to be good at painting to do that. So, yeah, no, stop. No booba, Sonya. Stop cheating on us again. I would consider doing that if somebody asked for a commission like that. But the problem is I would have no modern example of what it would look like. And I wouldn't do one to show people. If someone's just like, I want a cell shaded style piece of art like that from back in the day, but I want to see your modern like take on it or whatever. I would if they want it because it'd be fun. But the problem is if they said like, I want to see what it would look like before I buy a commission from you, there's no example. It just doesn't exist. So, no. It's a little cartoony for my style. I mean, I don't know. I prefer the painted style more. Kind of like doing that manually is what Amelia is. So painting that out within line work is what you get is this. So this is all actual painting underneath a line work layer, right? And then a straight painting without any line work or anything, which is what I'm moving into right now. Is like what this looks like, right? Because there's no line work here, there's no cell shading, everything is paint. This entire piece here is 2 layers. The first layer is the foreground, the second layer is the background. 2 layers. That's it. That's all I get. Everything bleeds into itself, textures, whatever else. And this is the kind of work that I prefer doing because this is more like classical painting. So it's much more comfortable for me. I feel like this is much more interesting to look at, but maybe not. Maybe it's just a style preference that I have that other people disagree with, and that's fine too. You know, I can always do anime bullshit for people if they want, I guess. Write you a DM with "Please cheat on me, Evan Senpai. Here's money. Would you refuse?" From you, Sonya, absolutely not. No, I wouldn't refuse you. If like Guapo or someone sent me that DM, I would refuse it. If Fishy sent me that DM, I'd refuse it. If Rockford Author sent me that DM, I would just delete it. But if you send me that DM, my commissions are open. I would do it for you. All right. Oh God. Okay. Pog Evangelate, stop. Delete that emote. Delete it. Mods, delete the emote. All of this to say that I am dodging ever showing you guys the Highland Cow. So y'all will never see it. There's probably almost nothing that could be said to convince me to show it on stream. There's a couple pieces that I'll probably never show on stream. The mods, my friends, nobody's ever seen. The Highland Cow is one of them, and I'm mad at Ella for bringing it up because now the mods are gonna be like, "But we're the mods, we should get to see it," and they don't. That's just the way it is. So, Evan, give it the hug, then take away my hug while deleting my message. I don't take away your hug. You still get your hug, Rock. But I might delete your message. So, you know, pay me like one of your cat girls. Stop. No, you don't want to see it, Blaze. You think you do, but you don't. So, I am the arbiter of what you want, and believe me, you don't want to see the Highland Cow. It's not. It's also like I don't want to shit talk a commission, right? I don't want to shit talk a commission. So, the thing is, okay. So here's why I won't show the. Okay, actually, here's full transparency. You want to know why I won't show that piece? Is because I did it to the specifications. I did that piece. Sir, it's not even the cow. The cow's fine. It's just a fucking cow in the background. That piece was requested by a client who wanted me to change things that I thought were poor decisions that made for a worse piece of art. So I'll do it because you're the client, you're paying, but I don't want anyone seeing that piece of work thinking that I made those decisions. Right? Like for instance, a client could say this like in design. This happened all the time when I was working as a freelance designer. Client would say, "No, I want this in bright orange," and I'm like, "Oh, well, here's all the reasons why we've chosen this color palette. If you want to look for a more warmer color palette, we can do that. But I would avoid bright orange for your product. It's not good in the market. It's not whatever." And they're like, "I said I want bright fucking orange," and you're like, as a designer, you're like, "Okay, I'll make a couple of different oranges for you. You can pick the one you like, and we'll go from there." And they're like, "Good." And you do it. And you do the logo for them. You do the brand for them. And you charge them as much as you're going to charge them. They're the client. Fine. They can be happy with it. But then I would never put that in my portfolio. I would never show that off. I wouldn't put my name on it. And I'd say to them, "Hey, you know," I wouldn't necessarily say them, but I would never show it off. I'd never put it in my portfolio. I would never show it to another client, because if I have another client that's looking through my designs and they're like, "Oh, Evan did this gaudy bright orange thing. That's kind of weird. Doesn't really fit this brand. It's just it's kind of gross. It's whatever." Clearly he's not a great designer. I don't want people thinking that, and so I don't want people to think that like there's like I think 3 commissions that I did for clients. Nothing the client did wrong. Good clients, good people. I don't have anything disparaging to say about them. But they wanted me to do something or change something in my art that now I would say no to. Now I have the courage as an artist to say, "I'm just not going to do that, dog. It's a worse design. It's not. I'm just not going to do that. I'm sorry." Right? And most people can respect that now. And I also work with people that that respect my process and my work and wouldn't ask me necessarily to do that. Right? But there's about 3 or 4 pieces that I can think of that I did it for them. They were happy. They did it to their specification, and they're just a kiss in the wind. They're just gonna disappear from recorded history, and you know. So it's not even about the fucking cow. It's about the other decisions that were made in that piece. So yeah, I don't know, man. Oh God, I miss commissions so much. Part of this like break that I'm taking next week and the week after is going to be to finish things and projects and whatnot, so I can properly open commissions formally and take requests and do stuff for people. And I have a wait list already, which fucking sucks that I have people that are already waiting on me. And I hate making people wait. It just makes me sick sometimes, but whatever. So I hope that like by April or whatever, I'm like back to the point where if somebody wants a commission from me, it's like a 2 to 3 week turnaround. You know, it's like, sure, from request to delivery, it's like less than a month, you know, but who knows if that's gonna happen. I might just fail completely and spend 2 weeks just crying in a corner having panic attacks. That's also something that could happen. Well, I'll let you guys know how it goes, but I'm gonna miss streaming next week. Actually, I'm really bummed about it. I'm really stressed about it, but I have to, and hopefully people don't just abandon me when I'm back. I don't know. It's always so scary as a streamer when you disappear for a while and you're like, "Oh shit, is this gonna kill my stream? Is nobody gonna show up anymore?" But I don't know. You guys have always been there for me in the past, so I should have a little bit of confidence. But think that's about where we're gonna leave it today. That's happening. Call me. I absolutely. I was gonna say absolutely will not, but then I remembered you yelled at me for not reaching out to you last time, and I said I would because I put a good effort to be a good friend, Fishy, because you're trying very hard to be a good friend for me. So I will call you. Maybe not on the first one, but I'll call you on the third one, okay? Typically, I give an outline of what I expect and would like, and some of my references can be very specific, but I always end a commission request with something along the lines of, these are guidelines. I trust your ability to make many changes possible under your creative initiative, because that's more freedom that artist gets, the better the art turned out for me in previous experience. I agree entirely, Mutimus. 100%. It's very strange. It's very odd to me, sorry. When I have done commissions for people, I forgot about the Turtle Man. That's another animal commission, or anyway, sorry, just... it's very strange to me, or odd to me, when somebody asks me for something that I never do. They're like, hey, I love your designs. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And they're like, I would love a paladin sort of like in your style. And I'm like, oh, absolutely. They're like, but I want all these things to be wildly different that you've never done before. And I'm like, or not just that you don't do before, but they're just like not your style or not your flow or not your sort of vibe at all. And I'm like, I'm always kind of confused. I'm like, why did you want me to do it? You know, like this clearly isn't something that I would do. It's like somebody asked me to do anime. It's like, I don't do anime. You know, why do you want me to do anime? Why don't you find a great anime artist that's going to do this for you? And you know, but yeah, I also scope out, just like clients are very discerning for their artists, what they work for. I am very picky about the people I work for. There are lots of people that I've turned down because I say to them, look, I just don't think that I'm the right fit for you. I'm honored you want me to do this for you, but I don't think I'd do a good job for you. I don't think us would be happy. So, you know, thank you for considering me. I'm honored, truly, but good luck finding an artist who will do this for you. And I'm fine saying that because I have the courage to say that now, because I know how bad. It's not just like, oh, I'm swimming in commission requests, so I'm so successful and wealthy. It's like, I have a lot of commission requests, but that's not the reason why I turn down commissions. What I've realized is that a bad client, not because they're a bad person or a bad whatever, but a bad match of me and a client can make me hate making art. And I have to protect that desire to make art so tightly now that I just don't, you know. We gonna stream with me tonight? Probably. Ella's streaming tonight, by the way, guys. She's gonna be playing games, whether it's Baldur's Gate or we're gonna play Final Fantasy 14 together. I'm not sure, but Ella's supposed to stream on Wednesdays. But she had something come up yesterday, and so she'll be streaming tonight instead later on. I'll probably be with her, and if I am streaming with her, I'll ping the Discord for you guys. So they're telling us you're going on a break. Sometimes other streamers, creators don't say they're leaving. Yeah, I feel bad about it though, Nick. I feel bad, especially for people who have like subbed this month and stuff. I feel like I'm kind of like, I don't know. It just feels bad that I'm not. That it's like, oh, you're subbed to me for a month and you only got 2 weeks worth of streams or whatever. So yeah, throw out your anime commission idea. Guys, want to support your streamer wise way? Don't forget to check your sub if he's offline. It might not auto refresh. Stop, Jesus. So yeah, all right. Well, tomorrow's gonna be our last regular stream before my break. So tomorrow's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna do some requests. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be Pog Champion. So hopefully, if you guys are there, we have a good time. You know, because y'all deserve having a good time at the end of your hard-earned weeks. But yeah, it's gonna be the last stream for a week or so. Like, the thing is, I don't know if I take 2 full weeks of streams off, then I'm gone for like almost 3 weeks. So I might come back on the Thursday and Friday, or Thursday, Friday of the next week. So it's closer to 12 days instead of like 20 days. So it's close to 2 weeks, but not exactly 2 weeks. So I don't know. Regardless, that's what I'm going to do this week or next week. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. For today, anyway, I will see you tomorrow. What the fuck are the mods doing in Discord? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. I got these fucking mods, man. They're just sitting here dunking on me the entire time, aren't they? What's it like to have mods that support and love you? I'm kidding. All right, guys. Thanks for chilling today with me. I appreciate y'all. You're amazing. Despite what I say, I think your D&D ideas are pretty cool. And remember what I said earlier to our artists in chat. I believe in you guys. I believe in you guys. It's hard to be an artist. It's very simple. Getting good at art is very simple. It's not complicated. But depending on your situation, your mental, I don't know, processes with your art, it might be very difficult, even if it's simple. So just know I love and support you, and I believe in you, maybe more than you believe in yourself, and I'll continue to do so because you deserve it. You deserve somebody in your corner when you won't even be. I'll be there in your corner for you, cheering you on. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. If y'all are playing D&D tonight, because today is the official D&D day, where everyone plays D&D, have a great game. If you're not playing D&D tonight, think about playing Baldur's Gate on your own. Drowning your sadness of not having friends that want to play D&D with you today. In Shadowheart's massive, huge storyline. Later.